believe you're the king of the jungle. You got the t-shirt, do you know how the song goes? You're looking good, but the fact is you're lazy. But people love you cause you're funny and crazy. 7-Eleven, buy a six-pack of beer. If there's a party, you're the last one to leave it. It's not too late, we could stop all the dreaming. Get out this town, look around, we don't need it. Hell and heaven, they can wait for you. So go and do all the things that you want to do. So set me free, still a vie. I said, come on, pretty baby, take a chance on me. I said, shame on me, cause I didn't see that you were looking at me, baby, by the Ferris wheel. I know you're cool, but you think that you're chocolate. Get off my nerves, cause I still got a soft spot. You look at me and think I got all the answers. Maybe I do, but I'm scared taking chances. Boat in a bottle, but we ain't sailing nowhere. Rip out the cork, get the wind into our hair. Get off the train in the rain at the station. Knock back a drink, cause we think the boat's sinking. Hell and heaven, they can wait for you. So go and do all the things that you want to do. So set me free, still a vie. I said, come on, pretty baby, take a dance with me. I said, a shame on me, cause I didn't see that you were looking at me, baby, by the Ferris wheel. I said, stand by me, stick around with me, cause it's a long walk back to where we just been. I said, hey there, baby, so you banged him and me. I wish I never found out, but hey, c'est la vie. I said, I'm playing our song on the radio, and we're singing out loud all the words that we know. And it's a long tongue salad pissing off Peggy Sue. How is it that me and you, cause it's time that we grew. And it's a yeah, 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 come along with me. And then you think all the things that you wanna say. I said, oh wow, pretty baby, come and take my hand. I'm gonna show you all that, baby, yes I am. Whoa. Such is life in the rear view mirror. The open road up ahead is the future. Time came around and wrecked our pace, but when I look back now, I got a smile on my face. Come on, baby, take a chance with me. Stick around on the town if you wanna see. We don't belong anywhere, is what she said to me. So come on, take a dance and spin around with me. She said, shine on, baby, set me free, stay la vie. I said, I'll stand by me and stick around with me. And when the street lights fall, you can buy my beer, cause when the morning light comes, I'll be gone.
Big up Juzzy. Oh, woo. Alright, let's see. Shout it out to me. Yeah, that's enough of that. Hello. How you guys doing? We're doing an early stream because I unexpectedly go into a restaurant later. Hang on. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm going to a restaurant at like 8, so I got like 2 hours, maybe, probably, most likely. Right, hang on. We need to do this one, probably. And hang on, my brother's fucking WhatsApping me. Right. That one. And we're gonna listen to this Batman.
Hi guys, welcome to our edition of Panic Man 10. I'm going to do a review now of the Back for Blood open beta.
Ooh.
I do understand what a beta is, but I'm still going to do a review of this because I'm pretty sure this is going to be the hearts and potatoes of the game. We're not going to focus on the graphics and all that stuff because we know things get patched over time. But I think that we have enough here that we understand what the core mechanics of the game are going to be. Okay.
I know why everything's quiet now.
Next fix for Left 4 Dead, and so is this the game for you? The short version, because you guys want shorter videos, no, this sucks. And I'm going to tell you why. And there's going to be a ton of microtransactions attached to this you watch and see. And I will explain why. I'm going to explain. I played this on the PS4, which I currently have it on right now. Just for the purpose of this video, so I keep my information accurate, because I'm like...
Bro, why can't I heal?
Right now because I just spent the whole weekend doing this. This is my Sunday.
Why can't I not heal?
And I spent Friday all on the PS4. I spent Saturday on
the
Xbox Series S. This is going to be about both of those, and then where there's a conflict of interest between the two because of the communities. And this is going to be incredibly important.
That guy on
so
50.
Yes, you need to have 4 players to play.
Lou was playing RE2 earlier, so she's been avoiding RE5.
Right there.
If he said that, call him a fucking faggot. Because we're doing it tomorrow.
Quick play, campaign, and versus. The campaign is only 1 act and 8 segments long. Okay, 7 or 8 segments long, right? The story is very vanilla and very...
He probably is playing RE2 because he played out RE7.
So don't expect an epic storytelling, right? Just
I don't know why he's not playing RE8, but you know.
Here because we need to collect food or we need to whatever it is at the time to do, right? I don't want to do any spoilers in here, right?
Why can't you heal in this game?
So I'm fine with that. That's fine. You know,
maybe I should read the weekly.
When you do P versus E, which is the campaign part of it, do understand this is online only. You cannot play this offline. There is no single player element to this. Like in Left 4 Dead, they had single player element. You don't have that here because you could hook up with the bots. You could play it offline like that.
No, you're supposed to be able to heal.
The only time a bot gets assigned is if you're into a mission already and someone bounces out, server issues.
Fucking weird, man.
Right? Okay, so someone bounces out, they'll put a bot there. But in order for you to
What
continue,
restaurant?
you need people.
Uh,
This means you need
don't
to have
laugh.
a group of
A
people to do it.
pancake
Whether you're doing a
restaurant.
campaign or you're doing
It's my
the
brother's
online
idea.
only. So if you're doing the P versus
Obviously, or else I
E, which
wouldn't
is the
be
campaign,
doing an
or the
early
P
stream. If it
versus
was my
P,
idea, I
which is the
wouldn't have
online
gone
mode, which
today.
is versus, that's all you got for stuff here to do, right?
Me.
No matter
Oh
what,
my.
you need 4 people to
Running
play
out of
with. Period. There's got to be
battery.
4 people in your squad. Period. No exceptions. Okay. That's another strike against it. Graphically speaking, the strike I'm going to put against it, because this isn't about something that they can fix before they launch it, is going to be, why doesn't anybody blink in this game? Seriously. I brought this up on Xbox when we were talking about this. Like, somebody mentioned that the driver doesn't blink. I went back to the camp base and I went looking around and nobody blinks. And then I started to notice this, and it's really irritating. It's really annoying. And actually, it is the most scariest thing that happens in the game. That really tells you how bad this game really is, okay? So, you pick one of
Imagine,
right? You can be Holly,
writing the game off because the characters don't blink.
There's like 4 characters to pick from here. And based off of that is basically how you're going to be playing the game with stats-wise. The ammo here is not shared. It's specific. So, like, for example, if I'm using a shotgun, I have to find shotgun ammo. If other people in my party are using a shotgun ammo, I'm screwed, because you can screw over your other teammates because no one will have that ammo type, right?
Yeah, that happens in Left 4 Dead 2 as well.
I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I've got fraud going on right now. The problem with that is that you have OP weapons all over the place. The thing that made Left 4 Dead work, one of the core mechanics of it that made it work, is that you're only going to find OP weapons like in a police station, which makes sense, right? Or in an army barracks or something like that. Why are these things lying around just in the wild everywhere? Like you can find a purple weapon.
Oh, piss off!
Even a gold item, and that.
Have you not played Left 4 Dead, Paddock Man? You could find fucking M4A4s in a fucking caravan, dude.
Get cards. And this is a major concern of mine, okay? So the cards,
Why does everything have to be realistic with this dude?
You can choose to do the medic line, you can choose to do a soldier line, you can choose to do leader, whatever, and the cards
Like, I don't like Back 4 Blood, but these complaints are just complaints for complaining.
Points on them in order to unlock the cards.
My fucking
unlock the cards, they
thing is feeling weird, dude.
Advantages or disadvantages depending on what they do, like plus 20 to stamina, for example, right? And so, things that can help other people out, like you can actually go in the game and buy items, for example, that help everybody out. Like there's things for 1,500 that, like, give team.
Sorry, I'm
like,
testing out my mouse, man.
Like so you can hold defibrillators and stuff like that.
Feels a bit weird.
So it's got a plethora of different items, different card sets here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a short one.
Types of guns.
Short stream.
There's even a way that you can do a melee build. So it's got a
melee build
element and the cards in that too. At your home base, if you go into the physical base, inside the base you got different areas where you can go for P versus P. There's a training area. There's an area to get intel. There's an area to do the P versus E, which is the campaign, and there's
that's why.
where you can do training, but then
yep.
you can practice your P
fixed.
P
Nope, not fixed. What is?
Speaking, right?
Oh, it's sticky. Okay.
My problems with this is
right.
Like,
my mouse pad is sticky for some reason.
One. Actually, there's a lot of problems here. One, you need 4 people. You need 4 human beings. I noticed my experience on
I will agree with that.
versus the Xbox dramatically due to the different ecosystems. PlayStation fucking sucked. I hated it. I was bored within 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't like it, but then I wanted to do a proper review of it, so I did. I spent all of Friday night playing that, and then I spent all of Saturday on the Xbox. The Xbox was a different story, and I had people to play with. I bumped into randoms that were actually nice and polite and respectful. We had a good time, laughed, joked around. No one took it too serious. You know how there's a lot of serious gamers out there, and it was a lot of fun. So the 2 ecosystems are going to make a difference, because the people you roll with will make a difference as to how much fun you're going to have.
I think I should just play COD.
Is this a full
Call of Duty. You should just play Call of Duty and then put his voice chat on, and then have like 5-year-olds call him a faggot.
And they got 3 different versions out there for this. This is when you know shenanigans are
Good
happening.
ecosystem.
Because you know there's 3 different versions, okay? That is ridiculous. The base game should always have all content included. You know, you don't say that, hey, you know what, we plan to come out with DLC later on and have 3 different prices. How can you price DLC if it isn't pre-made, not knowing when it's going to be because it's supposed to be made in the future? You guys that argue that are wrong. They planned this. They made it in the vanilla game, and then they separate it based off of what the publisher says. That is bullshit, and that is what's happening here. All these games where you have a standard version, a vanilla game, ultimate, Stanley Cup edition for hockey, for example, things like that, you know it's already been done. It's already been
Who
made.
is Stanley, and why does he have a cup?
The character packs that come out in fighting games and everything like that, it's already been pre-done. So that is pure and utter bullshit that gamers buy into that kind of bullshit. And actually, gamers are protecting publishers and developers when they shouldn't be. Because these guys are doing shenanigans on you. Now, I don't blame developers, they make the game. But how it gets dispersed, I do have a problem with, which is the publisher, okay? So here we have a game that is building off of the hype of Left 4 Dead, that in my honest opinion doesn't live up to the hype at all.
What hype? The game's been dead for 10 years?
Bland, boring,
When did-
dull, uninspired.
When did fucking
Just regular
Left 4
shitty
Dead 2
boxes
come
before,
out?
Like everyone's been
Like
in a
2011?
before, everybody's been
2009?
houses before, down a street, you know. that
Stanley?
kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
like Stan
There's
Lee with
nothing
an
here that
eye, I
stands
think.
out
I don't
that
know.
really
It's a hockey
glorified me in
cup
terms of the
or something like
environment
that.
would make it creepy, make me feel like I was in an environment that was threatening. It just felt very vanilla. The whole game felt very vanilla, right? Controls were really.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
had no problems with
That wasn't me, by the way.
I thought the graphics were fine for what it was. Because it is beta, they could beef up certain things. But the core mechanics of the game, I have a massive problem with. One of the biggest problems that I have with is the card system. A lot of people are pimping this and saying this is an awesome idea. Yeah, because you have access to all the cards. I bet you there is going to be a shitload of stuff hidden behind paywalls, right? And the only way that you're going to be able to compete, especially if you're going to do P versus P.
P versus P?
The thing here is
But how do you
you
see
got
it,
P
so?
versus E and P versus
You doing
P.
good?
Understand, if someone buys the DLC in P versus P,
Did
you're
Luke say
fucked.
anything threatening about me?
And you're
Because
gonna be
I'll
forced
fuck
to
him up
buy
tomorrow.
the DLC, because it's not going to be available to everybody. I noticed this when I was playing this beta version of it. When we were doing P versus E, everyone got along just fine because everybody has the same shit. But when you go into P versus P, whoever has the DLC, that side of the fence is going to be available to, but not to the other side. So that is a massive problem right there. So the strikes against this are thus: not enough content, overpriced game. You need 4 players.
I'm
online
pretty
only,
sure that not enough
100%,
content
and,
is because it's a beta. They won't let you play the whole game during a beta, dude.
Their DLC, which gives them an edge over you.
Nah, he's talking about some random stuff
So
in
let's
someone's
talk
chat.
about the different
Fair
game
enough.
modes here. Quick play, self-explanatory. It is what it is.
But yeah, we're
Campaign
playing
is the
tomorrow,
story mode. There's
if
only
you don't
8
fall
parts
asleep,
to
the
it, 7 or 8
fucker.
parts to the
He fell asleep
actual
yesterday,
one, so
man.
you can see
Fucking
where they
bastard.
come up with more acts for DLC.
Fucking
It's a
student.
concern of mine. You know,
Student
DLC for
falling
guns,
asleep.
DLC for add-ons to the guns. DLC for like.
Imagine not having a good sleep rhythm.
Swords and baseball bats
Like
and
waking
that.
up at 3 p.m.
DLC for characters, DLC for extra campaign stuff, you know, and you get the idea here. It's just, it's ridiculous. Like, you know, how deep this thing could go for microtransactions, right? This is not free to play, and you expect that kind of stuff in free to play. This is a full price game, and it is not.
But yeah, my
worth
brother
the hard-earned
came.
money,
Well, my brother's
right?
coming home
This
from a
is
3-day
game I would
vacation.
expect to be in a
He's like,
$20
"Oh, let's
game at
go
Walmart."
out to
This is
dinner."
how boring
I'm
it
like,
is,
"Really?
okay?
Out to dinner? It's a
How
bit
bad
expensive,
this
isn't it?"
game is, I was bored
And
after
we're doing a
driving.
pancake house.
Okay, I was bored after doing a
Apparently,
couple
it's just
hours of it.
pancakes.
That was it, and then I realized it's just rinse and repeat and do the same
Over
shit
here,
over and over and over
pancakes
again,
are-
you know. And
We eat them
they
for
do have
dinner. We
some
don't eat them for
variety in
mornings.
sort of, like
I have to wake up at 5 a.m. and leave by 6
zombies.
a.m. God damn.
Some of them
So that's why I
are
haven't been seeing
interesting
you
because
around
they're
often.
sticking to the spot. It's nice to be able to play
Mad.
as the zombies too, where you can stick other players to the spot. However, if they got the DLC again, you're going to get screwed over, right? So the P versus P, or P versus E, everybody's equal. And if someone has the DLC, it doesn't matter because you're not doing P versus P. But in P versus P, it's going to be really, really challenging for people if you don't have the DLC, right? Because then you're going to get your ass handed to you 9 times out of 10. Between the two communities, the PS4 versus the Series S, okay? When I was on the PS4, I was bored to death. I had one person come in that we kind of had a little bit of fun with, and then he had to go. And then the rest of it was just toxic to the point I ended up having my ear blasted out of my head. I mean, seriously, they blasted the sound on their end of it, and I almost went deaf. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. You know, I go over to Xbox the next day and I play on it because I wanted to separate the days, so, you know, different wake up mood and that sort of thing, right?
Are they like American pancakes or thin like tortillas? No, they're I think they're thick. We usually have thin ones, but I don't know about this place.
If you hook up with a bunch of people that are assholes,
Right,
you're not going to have fun at all. And if you hook up with people that aren't assholes and you have a good time with, you're going to have a better time. But in the end, you're going to come to the same conclusion I did, and that is this is incredibly vanilla. There's 8 parts to the first act. There's really no variety here at all. The environments are incredibly bland. You know, like, you know, you have interesting goals like don't make noise, for example, where you can get extra money and that kind
of
stuff.
Sorry, my brother wants me to do something. I'll do that after this fucking game.
Bland that when you play through.
But yeah, I have no idea what kind of pancakes they are. I know there's gonna be like bacon in them and stuff and all that shit.
At first
you can have normal ones, obviously, but who likes a normal pancake, dude?
There I was like, oh, wow,
gotta have some meat in that shit.
Awesome. And then the dopamine wears off and you go, fuck, this is boring. I'm gonna give this a shelf life like this, okay? The shelf life for this game is going to be, within 2 months you're gonna be bored to death. Within a year, or less than a year, it's gonna be totally dead. You know, and it's going to be tons of microtransactions in this game. There's going to be extra acts that are probably going to be added on. Cards right from the beginning are going to cost you money. Guns are going to cost you money. Everything in here is meant like that. There's even a quartermaster here that you go up to. They have equipment, but it's not in the game yet. And I bet you there's going to be equipment perks and bonuses too that you're going to have to buy with real money, right? And so the grinding in this I can see happening, and I can see being boring as incredibly as hell, you know. So, as I was playing the game, and going through my paces of playing it, I found OP weapons near the beginning. I found all sorts of stuff. Now, in order for you to acquire perks, cards, and that kind of stuff, you have to get in-game currency, right? And that's done just by completing goals and objectives and finding the money scattered throughout the world, which is copper, right? And so I would find myself, like, you know, going around trying to look for copper, whereas the rest of the crew is bolting, like, you know, 5 miles ahead of me here. And this is a game that requires you to use proper communication. You cannot do this on your own if you're with squad people, and you have to be because it's the only way you can play this game, unlike World War Z. And that becomes another problem, is the lack of proper communication. If you're not wearing a headset, and if you're not talking to other people, or you're just there doing your own thing, it's not going to work, it's not going to happen, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get pissed off, and you're going to want to quit. Okay? You need a group of people.
Bro, this ain't 2011 anymore. I don't think anyone uses voice chat.
Is if someone bounces
everyone uses Discord nowadays to find people.
Put a bot in the place just for that reason, but you still
maybe. I
don't know. To roll with 4 human beings. That is a requirement. You have to do that. This is completely online. Now, thankfully, on the Xbox, with all games that are online, you get free access to it. You do not have to pay for your gold membership, right? You automatically get on there. You don't need anything special. Unlike Sony, where you do have to have your PlayStation Plus. There are 2 differences between the 2 communities, completely different, you know. And so that's another thing you're going to have to think about. If you're going to get this, do you want to get it on Xbox or do you want to get it on PlayStation? Get on PlayStation, you got to play for the PlayStation Plus. If you get it on Xbox, you don't have to pay for it because it is just an online-only game. All online-only games on Xbox are free to play online after you buy them, or even the free-to-play ones like
No one talks on console
Exile,
either.
for
Yeah.
example, and stuff like that. Conan, right?
Like the
You
only
can play
game
stuff on
I would say
free.
voice
And
chat
you
wise
can play on
is
free. This game you can
Halo
play on
or
free. Okay, and
fucking
so
COD.
there's a lot here, like the card system and that. So let me go through this. So the deck building, okay, so your modes here are quick play, self-explanatory. Just going to throw you into a
He just
message.
gave a fucking review and now he's gonna review it again?
Campaign, which you can do in order if you want to, but you have to roll with 4 people and you have to make sure that they're going to sit there and listen to the story. And versus mode, which is P versus P, which is like you playing as the cleaners, which are the survivors, let's call it what it is, and the zombies, right? And you do 3 rounds. And so how a round is judged is you play as the cleaners and you try to kill off the zombies as fast as you can. And they try to hunt you down as fast as they can. And then you play as the other side. Whoever beats the other person's time wins that round. So if the cleaners beat the zombies, right, in X amount of time, then when they become the cleaners, they have to beat those zombies in under that amount of time, or else they lose the round. And that's how it goes for 3 rounds. So it's the best 2 out of 3. It says 3 rounds, but really it's the best 2 out of 3. If someone wins 2 rounds, that's it, it's over. And
I wonder what kind of boss we're gonna get.
I mean, we had matches that lasted 24 seconds, no joke, on the Xbox. We had matches that lasted 720, so it's going to be completely random based off of people's skills. That's the versus. You have a category here that is called preferences, which allows you to set up cross-play, privacy, and voice preference and things like that, right? There's a place in here where you can set up things to turn on the profanity. Now here's what's interesting. When I did turn on the profanity, right? Actually, you turn it off. Because when you turn it off, you get the profanity. There's nothing lewd in here. There's nothing profane. I don't know why they have a profanity filter, because there's nothing that the characters say that I would be offended by personally, being an adult, because this is aimed at adult. You're not trying to pull 4 or 5-year-olds into this, because it's not a Disney game, right? And the thing is that here, why would you have a profanity filter? It just doesn't make any sense, right?
Your ammo?
Unless there is something profane going on. There isn't any. I drop more F-bombs than the game does. I never heard 1 F-bomb in the game. I never heard anything where I'd be like, okay, that was cringy. The cool thing I did like about the game, though, was the banter between the characters in the game itself. Like, why are we here kind of thing. Oh, we're here because I gotta find my dad, kind of thing, so you have an idea why you're there. And then there's banter between the characters throughout the game as you get going along. And as you hit characters with different weapons, like I would say different things like bad rap, and I made a joke about how it sounded like Harlequin, kind of stuff, right? And so that's basically the kind of banter you're going to get. Not the kind of banter you would get from players in a game, but then I'm not looking for that. I want different kind of banter. And the kind of banter here is like, oh, hey, look at that, I just hit a home run and stuff like that. So it's more like Serious Sam stuff. Well, I really got a kick out of that. I thought that was really cool. Now, when you get into the deck building, you have 2 types. You have the campaign and you have the versus. You go into your campaign deck, you get a starter pack right off the bat. And you can actually create your own deck. If you create your own deck, you can have up to 15 cards in a deck, and then you have to make another deck. And I don't know if it caps as to how many decks you can make. I'm not too sure about that. And you get cards according to the cards you unlock as you play, as you spend the points to get those cards into your hand. And then you can assign them to whatever deck you want to, right? And then, when you play P versus P2, you can choose to be a certain category, like soldier, leader, or medic, and things like that. And it will give you a preset amount of cards that is for that specific role. So
when he moves that fast, I can't aim for shit.
If you're a leader role, you're going to get leader ones, and if you're a medic, you're going to get leader cards that do actually pertain to what you would do if you were that kind of character or person. Okay, there is a filter there where you can go through offensive, defensive, and there's a ton of options there. Since preview, I won't go that far into it. But there is a deck builder, which is kind of cool that you're separated between versus and campaign.
Fucking easy, mate.
Do not intersect. When you unlock, you have to unlock the other ones too.
GG, weekly done.
Supply lines is a place to go and up your perks. This is the RPG element of the game. Then you have Polly's Alley, you have the clinic, you have the crow's nest, and basically it's the soldier, the leader, and the medic role, right? After you get all the perks into one supply line by
Oh,
acquiring
look at
top
all
gear
those
and paying for it with
awards.
copper, what happens here is, or no, sorry, with points, the battle points at the end of the game, right? What happens here is that you can now buy different things. For example, let me take a look at the clinic, right? The first card is
I
motorcycle
slept a bit
jacket,
too
and
long.
it costs
I was like,
30
yo,
points, right?
I'm gonna
And it adds
fucking
10% to your
sleep.
damage uh, reduction, okay? And then there's other cards there too. You cannot buy the cards. Like there's 5 cards. No, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 cards. You have to buy them in order. You cannot buy them out of order. So if you see a card there you really want and you want to mix it up, you have to buy all the cards and then sort it out in your deck. After you buy all the cards,
right, let me check
that
this thing for my brother, right?
category, like the clinic, for example.
Oh wait, yeah, you can keep going.
It will
Sorry.
be replaced by another line of cards. So there is a whole shitload of cards in this game. I'm going to say this is where the microtransactions are really going to come into play. They are really going to milk the hell out of this. Then you have your profile. This is where you can personalize your emblems, your titles, and your banners, as well as your spray, which is like, basically like the foreground and the background to Back for Blood, right? You can try and personalize it to make it unique and different. They got a ton of different options here. Like, you can choose a zombie head, for example, in that too. And then you can choose what you want for the background being, so that's the foreground. The background could be like a circle or a square or some blood smears or whatever, just to have something different than everybody else has, right? And so, really, there's not much to this game, to be completely honest with you. I got bored within 5 or 10 minutes into it. Well, you guys watch my Let's Play videos there. I played for a couple of hours on the PS4. I was fine with it, and then I started getting frustrated because then I realized I couldn't play on my own. And then I had to go with a bunch of other people, which I rolled for the rest of the time. Friday night, so I did 3 or 4 videos on that. And then I got into what happened Saturday on the Xbox, and I had a better time with it. But in the end, this is a very, very vanilla zombie shooting game. My highest recommendation I could say to you guys is go and get World War Z. It's a far better experience than this. It's way more entertaining and way more fun than this. Like, if you're going to buy anything along these lines, Dying Light is great, but it's a different game. It's an open world. Dying Light is an open world Dead Island kind of experience. If you want the Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 type experience, then you're going to want World War Z. This thing is not worth your money, not worth your time. I spent the whole weekend playing it, and it's a complete waste of time. Like, absolutely a complete waste of time. I don't see that many people buying it, but for the ones I do, I think they're going to be like the hardcore, diehard fans that think that this is going to be Left 4 Dead, want it to be Left 4 Dead, are going to find out that it's not Left 4 Dead. I played the open beta all weekend. It's still open until Monday morning, 10 a.m. my time, and I could still play it again right now if I want to. I had no wanting to play it on after Friday there, and after I did those videos,
Sorry,
I was
my
like,
brother
no, I don't
is
want to play it anymore.
being
But I forced myself to because I
my brother.
wanted to make sure I did a proper review of this. And then I played it on Saturday because in a different day, different opinion, that kind of thing, to see if I felt the same. And at the end of both days, I just felt blah. I'm just like, that was a waste of time. Like, honestly, it is seriously, seriously vanilla. The story is vanilla. The characters are vanilla.
All right, one sec.
The guns are exactly what you get in any other kind of game like this. And they give you OP guns near the beginning even, which is ridiculous. They're all over the place. They're just scattered around. There's plenty of resources here. You're not going to have the fear of dying because, well, you will die, but, it's friendly fire and shit like that can be on. You know what I mean? So, like, that can happen. You can also turn that off, too, though. So that's a good point. You have 3 different difficulty levels to play on. Whereas, like, World War Z, maybe I'll do a comparison video in the future. World War Z, you actually have like 8 different skulls and 3 different difficulty levels, right? This just has 3 different difficulty levels. You play through the campaign, you play through versus mode, that's it. That's the game. And it is very, very quick to beat it. Through the weekend, Friday and Saturday, Friday, I managed to beat everything on the PS4. Saturday, I managed to beat everything on the Xbox, starting fresh. Another thing too is that when you play as different characters, like if you play as Holly and then you decide to play as someone else, the problem there is that your coins will not carry over. It's not linked to your account. It's linked to the character, I guess. I don't know. Like it's the beta, right? So that could be something they could fix up. Who knows? But the core elements that are here, it is not Left 4 Dead. It is not World War Z. Those are better games. If you enjoyed Left 4 Dead, if you want the Left 4 Dead experience, this I would say is a spiritual successor to it, but not a true successor to it because they introduce core elements that just break the game, such as cards. We've seen this happen in Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? We saw what happened there. EA got called out on their bullshit, and they got called on the loot crate scandal, right? And I am hoping that the community realizes that this is the same kind of bullshit. This has happened in hockey, where you have boosts to your shot accuracy, body checking, goalie saving, and all sorts of different stuff. That's what they're doing here too. And all that shit is just shenanigans. Why EA gets away with it in their sports titles, but then gets called on it in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is beyond me when they should be called on it, period. And the whole industry needs to be held accountable for this because this is just greed taken to the extreme. And what's even worse, ladies and gentlemen, is that for you to get the proper game, it's going to cost you $130 Canadian at launch because they have 3 different versions. The $80 Canadian version is just really vanilla, very bland. And if you want the DLC, then the next option is $110. And then if you want everything, is $130, which let's say is the season pass, for example, right? And that's where you're sitting at with this. I mean, the zombies, the only thing that was original about it was the one that sticks you to place. They got the throw-ups. We've seen those before. They got ones that explode. We've seen those before. So there was really no originality with the zombies. It might sound like it, it might look like it, but it's not because when you stop and think about it, I've been there, done that, seen that before. Left 4 Dead did it, 1 and 2. World War Z's done it. Dying Light, Dead Island. I mean, there's a lot of zombie games out there that you could go.
Right.
What? I've seen that before, right? So
I had a talk with Goonster, and what we're gonna do is, right, because it's taking long to get to level 25 with any fucking character. What we're gonna do is very simple. We are gonna pick a new class, and we're gonna level them up to level 20, and then pick another class until I played all the classes that I liked. So, yeah. Let's see, you got Berserker, Support, gonna take that out. Field Medic, yep, I don't mind playing that. Firebug, gonna take that out. Gunslinger, yep. Sharpshooter, yep. Survivalist, yep. Is that it? Yes, so Berserker, Support, Field Medic, Gunslinger, Sharpshooter, Survivalist. Yep. Alright, let's fucking go. Survivalist, alright. Let's fucking go. Come on, pretty baby, kinda don't be.
The only thing that really makes this game different from the other zombie shooters out there is the card system. That ecosystem is going to be economically hard on you. I don't care who you are. This is going to cost you a lot of money. I'm going to call it right now for what it is. So what I see here is not a full game. We got quick play,
maybe hard
campaign,
first,
and versus. That's
just
it.
to have a
there's only
quick
one mode
feel
versus.
around.
It's just you versus the other team. You have 2 teams of 4, and they go against each other. They play the cleaners, and then they play as the zombies. And there's a few zombies in there to pick from, and a few different classes in that too. In that, there's some depth there, but there's just not enough to keep you glued to your seat. Here's another problem: if somebody else picks the one that you want to use, you can't use it. Like if someone picks Holly, you can't use Holly. And let's say you like Holly because what she starts off with, right? If you like Mom or any of the other characters, You cannot play as them as soon as someone else picks them. It's the same thing with the zombies, right? Somebody picks the zombie that you like the most. You can't play as that zombie. You gotta pick a different zombie. And so therefore you're forced to play something you don't want to play, right? Or maybe don't have the skills.
Yeah, have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
Particular one.
Panic Man.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to who's in your party. Because if you don't have a good group that's joking around, having fun, getting high, getting drunk, and saying stupid shit, it's not going to be fun. You're going to realize how bland and boring this really is when you don't have a good group to roll with than when you do have a good group. When you do have a good group, you will have the dopamine kick in. You'll be like having a lot of fun at first, but then you realize, hey, hang on a sec. I've done this how many times?
Flare gun.
And it's just rinse and repeat and doing the same shit over and over again. This is so bland, so dull, and so boring. I cannot.
Oh god, you got everything here. My goodness.
Trust me on it. I'm uploading some gameplay, and at first I'm having fun. But then when I go in it when I realize I can't do it anymore, I'm screwed. You know, I can't do it by myself. And that is a big problem here too, because it is just strongly focused on online. That's all it is. It's just online. That's it. So you need to have an internet connection. You need to sign in every time. There are moments where I dropped out and that kind of stuff, like where the game crashed on me. But this is the beta, right? But the core mechanics to it is what concerns me, right? The lack of content, right? I mean, all you got is P versus P and campaign. That's it. That's literally all it is when you get right down to it. Those are your two choices. The quick play will just put you into one of those, right? You're like, okay, here you go. You're doing campaign 8, right? Whereas Act 1 8, right? Act 1 6 or 5, right? You don't know where you're going to be. And so, I don't know. I found it very boring. I like the premise of World War Z where they had thousands of zombies on the screen, and they did. When you do release hordes in this game, it does get overwhelming, which is kind of fun. But the fun is sporadic. It's laid out. Like, for the most part, I mean, if you're smart, you're going to carry a gun, but then you're going to carry a melee weapon, right? And for the most part, it's just really, really boring and dull.
That was dangerous.
The stupid thing is that when it comes to the ammo, this is our biggest complaint, because this is another complaint, like lack of content, and lack of game modes, and the thing that is that you don't have shared ammo. If you guys remember Left 4 Dead and that, just to touch on this in case I forgot,
this is a shit place to be.
The ammo bin, right? And whatever guns you were using got replenished, and it didn't matter if you guys had the same guns or not. It didn't matter. Everybody got ammo. Everybody got full ammo. That doesn't work here. They have a stack of X amount of shells for a shotgun, handgun, whatever you bump across, and if everybody's using the same gun, you're fucked. You are massively fucked, right? So, communication in this is vital. Extremely vital. And if you don't have a group of people that are not communicating, which I'm going to presume is going to be the case here for most people, you're not going to like it. You're not going to enjoy it. And then for what is here that does present itself, there's not enough content to warrant the price that they're asking for. Remember, they're asking full price for this game. This is a $20 bargain bin finder. I'm going to say this right now. Within, if you were to buy this, I played the open beta. Let's just face it. That is the core mechanics of the game.
Yeah, survivalist seems kind of weird. Right? Well, not weird, just
add that much more within
basically whatever you want to play it.
October, all right. So that's just to polish it up because they want you to report things in, right? The thing is that when you play the open beta, you realize there isn't much content.
So fuck it.
And it becomes very boring really quick. Because of the card system, there's no variety there. I mean, if you notice when you played Star Wars Battlefront 2, if you did this, right, you noticed everybody was the same thing, right? Everyone.
Hang on, I'm not done.
Oh. Like personal shield. Or
I was looking for my shit.
Or whatever, right? And the thing is, that's what.
Good thing I'm playing on hard. Oh god,
hi.
Oh god, I didn't fucking reload. Oh my goodness. Guitar, you're stupid.
If you want to, right? I don't know how deep that goes in terms of cards, like how many you can actually.
As if I forgot to fucking
because
buy ammo.
2 or 3 layers of cards, So you start off with one set, like just one, row of like 7 or 8 cards, and then you would unlock 3 more rows of like 7 or 8 cards, and then maybe like some
Might be
more
dead.
behind
Might be dead.
that too
Wait.
as well. This is how far I got with the cards,
I'm dead.
right? So I was like, okay, that's interesting. There's a lot of different cards there to unlock. The thing is, do they really affect gameplay? And I question that. Like, I do notice, like, your health goes up. Like, you get 2 points when you do this kind of health thingy when you kill a zombie, But that's not significant enough to really affect the game. You will see things like 100%, 150%, but then you could say, well, okay, maybe that's because of the beta. But we've seen this before, where games have come out and claimed X amount of percentage, and you really don't get that kind of a buff. It's sort of like their way of wordplay around it to make you think that you're getting 150%, but really you're just getting 50% extra on top of your 100 that you already got. You see what I'm saying, right? So there's a lot of problems in this. There really is. Like, the zombies, the only interesting one was the one that actually stuck you to the ground. Graphically, it was interesting until you realized that the characters had the same facial expressions all the time. They don't talk, their lips don't move when they talk, then they don't blink. So you see how I have expressions as I'm talking here and I blink and shit? They don't do that. They just have a bland face, a generic face, and they don't blink, they don't move their lips even, right? And so when you look at Borderlands as an example, right, with a game like this, right, where they have a gazillion guns, they may not have a gazillion guns, but they have a lot of really cool varieties, like wave shots and guns that blow up and guns that shoot out other guns and just all sorts of really crazy ass shit. Guns that will set people on fire or create a shield or do toxic and all sorts of different things like elemental damage and things like that. They got seriously really cool variety of guns. This doesn't. Doesn't at all. Your machine gun is a machine gun. It's like stuff you would find out of Battlefield and out of Call of Duty games, right? What else to say? There's not much here. There's not much. There's not much to say about it, right? It's just dull. Like, I really don't know how to do. I might have to do a video of it as a video review, and just hope that I roll with a good group here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's bad. It's very basic and very vanilla. Like, as basic as you can get a game to be, right? And put it out there. They're asking way too much money for this. Like I said, this is a $20 game. So hopefully I did it justice here. I don't know. Like, I got it pulled up here. I hate it personally.
Interesting.
I love these kind of games, don't get me wrong. But I can't even play it on my own, which really does suck, In the base, because I'm wandering around it now, you have people camping out at a campfire. You have a place where you can go for training. You have a place where you can go for the campaign. P versus P, which is a boxing ring. You have some people sacked out in sleeping bags on cots and that, And so they put some effort here, but you can't really interact with anything in here.
For now, let's just do Dragon's Breath, because I know Dragon's Breath.
Your quests and that kind of stuff. Different items of that. So, like supply lines and that kind of stuff, right? There's even a place in here to do training and that where you shoot in a shooting range, which you could technically turn it into your own P versus P type of thing, right? So, yeah, I mean, graphically speaking, in terms of killing zombies, was kind of cool. Like, I was using a baseball bat and I could smack someone in the head and watch their head explode in that too and that. So that was really, really cool. But you have to sign in all the time. So this is like one of those games, if you buy it, it's gone once it's gone from the server, because you always got to be linked to the server for this. Like, this is an online only game, completely online only. So, I think that's it. We talked about supply lines, profile, damage.
Ooh, I don't have my blue fire anymore.
Quick, which isn't a mode. There's just campaign and versus. That's it. That's all you got is campaign and versus, and campaign is just one act with 8 different parts to it. Versus is just like just like the cleaners versus the zombies, and that's it. Like, it's really, really basic and really.
You
really
beat 12 minutes?
No,
I haven't played it yet.
Nothing here to warrant $80 price tag.
I saw Chenzo play it.
Like nothing. Now, in terms of the ray tracing and all that, I did this on the Series S. It's good. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not into graphics. I don't care. I'm about gameplay. But if you want to, then you're going to want to get a next-gen console for those extras, like, you know, like ray tracing and that. Series S holding back gaming? No, hell no. The Series X looks phenomenal, plays phenomenal, runs very smoothly. I had no problems the whole night I played, except for once I got, well, all of us did actually, the whole party did. We all got booted out to the main menu, and I've had that happen to on the PS4 a couple of times, right? So that's everything I can think of. If you guys want to know more, let me know. If you guys want to see more gameplay before it goes, let me know. But that's everything I have to say in a nutshell. There's nothing here, guys. Nothing. Like, you're better off, honestly. World War Z is a million miles better than this in every way, shape, and form. You know, and there's just too much stuff here buried in behind paywalls. You know, that's going to happen. They haven't revealed how it's going to be laid out yet. You know. As far as I know. I mean, I'm not fluent with the internet like you guys are. I just go by what's in the store. But I did notice there's 3 different versions. We gotta stop buying this shit. You know what I mean? We gotta just go with, okay, we're either gonna wait for a sale and buy the Ultimate Edition where you get everything. Like Anthony Jenkins, Tony there, he's gonna be getting World War Z.
Boom, bitch.
He's gonna get everything, right?
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Or don't buy it at all. Because here's the problem.
I know the ending though.
You have 3 different versions. You have the base game, which is not.
Goon told me the ending.
This is like a demo.
Well, I asked.
The base is the demo. I'm sorry, but it's true. You buy the next version, it's a little bit more better than that, but it's still not a base version. The true version that you're supposed to get, like we used to get back in the day, is going to cost you $130 for this game, which is like.
Thank you, Lunar, for the follow.
You know, they use these phrases and these wordings and that to confuse you. To make you think,
oh my god,
look,
what
I'm
is
getting
this?
all this stuff that came out throughout the year, but in reality, that was already made right from the get-go, and it should have been in the game on day 1. The only reason it was withheld is because the publisher is greedy, and they want to dissect it and charge you money and release it throughout the year. So you get half the game at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year...
Trying to figure out yourself, yeah.
Right, the Game of the Year edition, right?
I mean, I don't know how to complete it. I just know the story.
I absolutely hate it. I don't like their business plan here. And this is what's ruining gaming altogether. I'm going to be doing a video on that, like, you know, about all the different things that are ruining gaming, like esports and...
I like that they used Philip Defoe, James McAvoy, and Daisy Ridley, but Daisy Ridley doesn't sound like Daisy Ridley.
And then when I found out it was online only, you know, like, the trailers are very deceiving. You know, incredibly deceiving, right? It's not fun. This is not fun. It's you're gonna get bored really quickly. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I've been talking for like over 40 minutes here. Thanks a lot for your time, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I don't think I've ever seen this gun before.
You've dented down numbers, but there are plenty left.
Weird ass gun. It doesn't do enough damage. I have no idea. Let's have a look. How much do we need to kill a siren? Alright, like that much. Bit much, I suppose. But I think it's better if you have like a group of enemies, maybe? Yeah, looks like it. Group of enemies, better. So for this guy, I just use my shotgun. There's some voice line that sound like her, but yeah, it doesn't sound like her most of the time. Yeah, same with James. Yeah, but James McAvoy, I know he's Irish or Scottish in real life. So, or even British, I can't remember. I thought he was Scottish or Irish, but he has a very good American accent, which is kind of weird. It's like you hire a fucking famous voice actor, make him sound like, you know, James McAvoy. I don't know about this one, Chief. Yeah, okay. I see what they want me to do with the arc lightning thing. I don't know about that one, son. Battlefront free? Hell yeah. You want to hop on Battlefront free? Hop on Battlefront free, Turner. Come on.
I'd kill for my old PVS-7.
I'm impressed. Your work was flawless. Magnifique. You were this round MVP, as they say.
I was MPV? How? I
You
was
might be chewed into pieces.
I was
My armor.
fucking with a little thing. Where Goon at? Here.
Back in the game.
Big ups Nova. Big ups Goon.
There's Zeds on the
Right. Right. Let's fucking do this then. How do I deal with trolls and thoughts on trolls?
You know,
Oh my
no
god.
sooner do I get it done a video for the brother, and the brother asks for another video. I love you, Jason Bourne. I'm starting to think he's the real Jason Bourne, man, because I gotta tell you something. This guy comes up with some epic shit. I just got back to him and said it might take
Goon
a
likes
few
to,
days because this is gonna take some thought. But I tell you what, I'm gonna
Lurk.
do it in the moment, very raw, unscripted, unedited, which is what my
You know, he's
style is.
fucking, he's doing his
And
work,
no
he's
bullets
watching
on
my
flying
stream.
completely blind.
Something like that. Wait, it's a Saturday, never mind.
It's really, really interesting, actually. Really, really fascinating, and a very good, very.
To be fair, there's not
very,
much to
very
talk
good
about
video.
anyways.
And it is. Can I talk about how I handle trolls, bullies? And thank you for explaining that. You know, I appreciate that. I'm an older generation. I'm 54, right? And the crap people talk about you and how you handle it.
Don't
and
know if
what
this is
message
gonna
you
work
have
with us,
for
Greg.
everyone talking. Thanks.
He done most of the parts
That
there.
last part there, I want to address right off the bat. What message do I have, everyone? Stop it. Seriously. When you put negative energy, I'm going to talk about this part first because this part is probably the most important part, and I know people want shorter videos. So I think this first
Yeah,
part
this thing is
here
pretty
gonna
fire.
be the most important part to talk about first. So, my message to everyone is this. Guys, energy. Everything's about energy, okay? This body's going to die, it's going to go on to something else, and it's going to do other things. But the thing that people won't remember...
How are you,
is
Nova?
basically my name.
You at the gym?
But the thing that the universe will remember...
I kind of wanted to go to the
is
gym today, but it was
energy
26
I
degrees.
put
So I was
out
like,
into the universe,
yeah,
into
no.
the cosmos. That never dies. And so if I put out negative energy, negative shit's going to come back. And not just on me. But
I'll
in
go
general,
Tuesday.
everyone, right?
Tuesday.
I honestly think this is why the world's in such a terrible state right now. I could really go down the well of that deep. And if you guys want that video, Jason, if you want a video like that about my thoughts about energy and how it interferes with, like, how it works.
I really don't want a video about your energy, dude.
I'd be happy to do that. So, my message to everyone about trolling and that, don't do it. Because the bottom line is, you're putting up...
Ah, little bit of trolling is
bad
fun.
about people.
Like
It's
asking
gossip.
Tevin to play
Is what it
Bloodborne,
is.
you know?
Trolling is gossip, right? Bullies is gossip. Right?
Also, he's
So we're
definitely
talking
a
about
Cribs.
leadership, right? We're talking about damaging
I asked
someone.
him,
So we're talking
and he
about
says, I can't
personal
answer that
assassination
question.
and things like that.
So, you know,
It's
that means
never helped.
he's
No one benefits
he's a
from these
Cribs.
things. No one wins in any of these scenarios. No one.
But he
That's
might be
why
in a
I did
blood-related
my thing
city.
on the relationships there and people
So
I dated.
he can't
I
say he's a
left it
Cribs
easy.
because he'll get
I just
ganked
gave
by all the other bloods in his city.
Situations I found myself in with no names because I don't want to put negative energy
System
into the
says you are the
universe.
best team
There's already
player.
enough shit out there.
Team
And
player.
so what trolls do,
Yeah, I'll
unfortunately,
accept that.
is they send out a lot of
Ugh.
toxic, negative energy. And that takes a lot of energy out of you to do that in the first place. And that is full of intent.
Might
And
play some
intent
Monster Train.
and will
Nah, no time.
is
I got like an hour
incredibly
left.
strong in the universe, right? Because that's what everything's built off of.
Yeah,
right?
maybe an hour and a half.
So if your
Maybe.
intentions
I
are
don't
to hurt others, if your intentions are to harm others, all you're doing is putting out all this negative energy.
Alright, so what else do
And
we got?
so
We got a
when
killer
people
wall.
troll other people,
Can I just like
my advice
sort
to
this shit?
people is
Like
don't troll.
that's a survivalist thing.
Get control of yourself. Do
The
some
rest isn't
meditation,
survivalist stuff, is
Think
it?
positive,
No, it's
you
all
know?
just
Instead of thinking that the universe is out to get you and
stuff.
everything's going to
So
destroy
what
you,
I think
back
survivalist
yourself.
is
You know, instead of being
is pick a
negative,
fucking weapon that you
instead of
like,
going down a negative
and then
route,
wait for the
find a way
fucking
to flip it
2,000
around
weapons and
positive.
pick one.
I remember this old
I think that's what
80s
survivalist is.
cartoon called Dungeon Master. You guys remember Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know if you do or don't. And Dungeon Master, what he would do is he had this one saying in one of the shows, and it was, take the badness and you flip it over, and it becomes good. So everything in the universe is neutral until you
What does this have to
find
do with
an
trolls? I
energy
wanted to hear
value,
about
right?
troll stories.
And in this energy value, sorry guys, I got a bunch of pop-ups. I always get these things, you know. Whenever I do videos, I always get these things. And so, when we put out negative energy,
Guitar, stay inside. Fuck you, I'll do what I want.
more negative energy, and it destroys us as a species. It destroys us.
You know what it
as
is?
a
I'm playing on
society.
hard
It
mode. It's too
destroys us
easy.
as human beings, because it's
Yeah, I
negative,
just
it's
noticed it with
toxic,
the
it's
fucking
not
flesh pound.
healthy,
He died instantly.
right? It destroys your soul. It destroys your essence. It destroys everything good about you, everything beautiful about you.
Nah, I'm
I'd
at the
rather
gym
say I
still
love
today.
you than to
Cool,
say I
cool.
hate you. Because I hate you is a negative thing. Period. There's nothing that comes positive out of hate. I will never say I hate.
I forgot to tell this
anything that's
yesterday,
negative.
but you know, yesterday
Today my TV set because it has no.
I was talking about
and guess
Diablo
why
3, and I was like,
hate
ah,
it?
that just put a bad memory on me.
Because it's an inanimate
Fucking
object.
Coggy,
But in a
man.
way, I kinda am, though,
He made me
because
buy
it's still
Diablo
playing
3
games, right?
plus
This
DLC,
is why I say a long time
and
ago, I did a video on racism, right?
he never
And
played
you
it with
say,
me.
because this plays into this, right? I said there's no
Cunt!
such thing as racism. I say there's no such thing as Semitic racism. Why? Because racism is ugly. No good can come of it. You might have really, really awesome intentions, okay, about
Yeah, now this is too easy. If Greg would have
right?
at least
Problem
retaliated
is,
by
we
now.
have the title. We have the label of racism.
God, the difference between hard and
The very
suicidal
first
is
thing
mad.
that comes up in people's minds, or subconsciously or consciously, is defensive, and they go on the defense. Why? Because you're talking about an ugly topic, right? If you were to call it culture and ethnic diversity,
The area remains
that's positive and that's constructive. But if you call it racism or Semitic racism, that's what Hitler did.
I do like
with
this
Jews.
weapon. This weapon is fun.
That's what the KKK does with the blacks.
The what now?
And instead of addressing Hitler as being racist, and instead of addressing the blacks, or sorry, not the blacks, but the KKK as being racist, the white supremacists, why not address them accordingly? What's really going on with Hitler and the Jews?
But yeah, once we're done with
Ethnic
killing Floor,
diversity. What's really going on with the blacks
some people are
and
gonna love it,
KKK?
some people are gonna hate it.
Culture.
We're gonna be playing
diversity,
Street Fighter
right?
5,
And when we use the proper
and I'm gonna learn
text
frame
here,
data.
the proper context here,
Goon has been trying to learn
we're
me
adding
frame data
positive
via
energy into it,
typing,
creating positive
but I
results,
don't.
pulling
Well, I
positive energy from
I
it,
understand it, right? It's
and
like you
putting
gotta
positive
figure out
energy
which
out there by using
which
constructive
punch is
criticism.
faster on
When we
fucking
use
startup, which
ugly terms,
which punch is
like
faster
racism,
when
this
you
has
can
to do with
punish, like if
culture.
you know
It does.
once you block you can punish, you
We're
know,
putting
use your
negative
biggest
energy
frame
into
because
the
no, use your
universe.
fastest frame or some shit like
So,
that. Like I understand
my
it.
message to everyone
It's just I don't understand how I
if you
can
find
do it.
yourself doing something toxic, stop it. It all starts with you. It starts with you changing
I'm
your
on V right now.
attitude,
Nice.
changing your mindset, changing everything about you.
Yeah, I want to get
You
better.
know, and make yourself
I
a
wanna
better person.
beat Tevin
You know,
at
know that there's a problem out there. Don't speak ill of it.
At
And
thingy.
actually come up with something positive and
Right, so I
constructive
can
that
buy
fix
stuff
the
now,
problem
right?
Instead of adding to the problem, right? Because the more you add to it, the more
I can buy the
negative
Chris
you're putting
SMG.
out there,
That's a good
the
one.
more energy it takes from you. And
See, that's the thing, right?
more
Like
it
I'm just gonna
uses
go
you,
back to
and it
SWAT
harms
or
everybody else in the
Firebug
process.
with Survivalist.
And that's what trolling is. That's why I mentioned that first. And it's important
Yeah,
to know.
I might
Trolling
even try a
is
new
extremely
character. Who
negative.
knows? Like
Those
maybe
people are negative.
maybe
Don't play
Ryu
their
is
game.
done for. You know,
You're
maybe I
asking
should
me for
just
my advice. Don't play their game.
try a different character.
Don't be a negative
Cause
person.
we all know
Don't get
Shotos are
toxic.
one of the most boring characters ever.
You know, let it go. Okay, because it's not worth it, right? They're negative. They're working for the devil. Whatever you want to attach it to, evil, devil, higher power, whatever. It's the negative side of life, right? And you have a choice to live your life for good or to live your life for bad. These are my own opinions. This is not religious. This is not that. This is just me being a philosopher of sorts, if you will, right? And what I think about trolling. And it pulls from that negative energy the same.
Imagine making an hour-and-a-half
you
video
put out
about
into the universe
trolling
when you talk about racism.
and talking about
You
some
guys
weird
think
fucking
you're doing the
energy.
right thing. It's like communism, right? Communism, seriously, and this is the truth.
God damn it! You're talking
People
about
think they're
communism
doing
every
the right
fucking
thing,
day,
and they
Panic
do.
Man. Why didn't you go live
They
there?
do right. But they don't realize the devastation that they cause until it's too late. You take a look at the Jewish community and they'll tell you this. We didn't know the wolf was out here, but until it was too late. The same thing with BLM, Black Lives Matter. Let's use
BLM.
this as an example too, right?
BLM.
Black Lives Matter.
Sukke
the label
BLM.
makes sense, right? All lives matter. So why is it just Black Lives Matter? not whites, not Hispanics, not anybody else.
It's George Floyd, man.
Why? Diversity, okay? And in the
If you
back,
really want to go
this is what's
fucking
really going
conspiracy
on.
theory,
When
George
you research
Soros.
Black Lives Matter, you're going to find out
That
it's done by
fucking ghoul.
Marxists. People that believe in Marxism, okay? And when you research Marxism, you know that this is one of the cornerstones to leading the foundation to the roadmap to build towards communism, okay? You have totalitarianism, dictatorism.
Thing is, right, I gotta get in close with this weapon, and we're on a fucking thing
Those
now.
are in play. And that is what's going on right now in North America, and my concerns about it, I've been addressing that every now and then.
See, I gotta get
This
close.
all plays into, believe it or not, everything that's negative, and in this case, it plays into Black Lives Matter because that's who runs it, and then you realize it's a shield that they use to protect themselves, right? Because if you go and attack that organization,
Heaven won't even play with me. Feels bad, man. I asked him so many
and you
times.
recognize it as evil,
Yeah.
you want to dismantle that
You gotta
evil,
get 200k
because
fake
if you
glow
do,
for
if
Tevin
you
to play
do,
Street Fighter 5 with
they're
you.
gonna come and go, what? Black lives don't matter? And then everybody's going
Don't
to
worry,
look
mate.
at
Once
that,
I do Sunday Street Fighter
then
5,
some
I'll be
of
up
you
for
get that
matches.
go right back and some
I don't mind.
people Go, no, defense. You know, I gotta protect these people, right? And they don't need protection. They can protect
I haven't
themselves.
touched my stick
Fine.
in like ages, so you're gonna have to give me a
They use
few.
that on
And
purpose.
you know, I gotta
Because
play
what
out
it
fucking
do-
Killing Floor 2 first, so that's gonna take a
It
few.
causes society to split, and
Yes.
then within that diversity,
Street Fighter
then
5
we
installed.
cause chaos, right? And when we create chaos,
Fantastic work.
we
Area
have
remains unbreached.
disorganization, disorientation, and all sorts of stuff going on,
Get some armor.
and it becomes easy for communism to come in and take over. And that's what
You should actually get more
Marxism does,
kilograms
right?
as a
And
survivalist.
so that's what BLM is about. Well, trolling does the same thing. You know, this is all about society and the collapse of society.
He's just
And what
talking about
leads to the
society. I'm
collapse of
skipping this.
society.
Let's go 30 minutes in.
They'll be on us in a tick.
So I made videos about it in a constructive manner. And then I thought to myself, okay, it's backfiring. Maybe I shouldn't do this at all. So in the end, what did I choose to do? Ignore the
Last
person.
chance. I have to power
That
down
wasn't
the pod.
working out, and it got so bad to the point I had to block them from the channel.
Alright, you might have
You
to
know, and
rewind
so
a bit.
The internet has power, you know,
I'm risking my
and
life.
Break time's
people
over. Get back.
have the power
Well
doing
said.
good or evil. And so
Let's go 20 minutes.
what it is, right? Because that's negative energy. And if you put that kind of negative energy out in
Fucking
the
negative
universe,
energy, man.
you're destroying.
I don't mind Buddhism and shit, but he just talks out of his ass so fucking much.
So don't engage in gossip. Don't engage in trolling. Because it's unhealthy. It destroys you. It corrupts you.
Fucking
It
stop him!
destroys the people around you and corrupts them. It pushes all the good people away. And the only people around you will be negative people that think the same way you do.
Hey! Get
And
fucked.
this all comes from personal change. You have to want to change who you are as a human
Yeah.
being.
It's 200k fake low though, and I'm on fucking 12k right now, and I've been watching every day. There's a franker
It's gonna eat at you.
there's a
it's gonna
franker
destroy you,
face
it's gonna corrupt you, and it's gonna
there's a
corrupt everything
franker face
around you.
thingy,
My honest.
franker
if I could
face
sit down with a troll,
add-on
yeah,
that
and have a
automatically
really good conversation with a troll,
catches
my
like the
advice to
little
troll would be,
points that you
don't
need to
wanna
click
have a
on.
better life than that? Why do you just want to sit on the computer all day and spread hatred about somebody? Why do you want to do that? That requires a lot of energy to do. It's like a smile. Smile versus a frown, right? I can't even do a frown anymore because all I do is smile. You see what I mean? Smile takes more muscles. More healthier for you because you're exercising more facial muscles, right?
I don't know, have you seen
Makes you
Jack
feel
Nicholson
better
frown?
about yourself.
That's
Makes you
a lot
feel
of muscles,
younger.
dude.
Makes you happy. So why would you want to be miserable? It takes less muscles to go like this. I can't even do it, even faking right now. I can't. I have to try. I'm a positive person. I don't believe in it, right? You can tell my face is not designed that way.
Says the guy who gets depressed about fucking,
You know, I got these
I don't
things
know,
here for a reason. Cause
losing
I
his mom.
smile.
Very positive
know.
guy.
And that's the thing. So My question to the trolls would be, why are you putting so much negative into the universe? Is that
Right, Goon,
really
what weapon do I choose now?
Is being bitter,
You can choose.
sour, negative, butthurt, whatever terms you want to use. And this is not me being negative. I am not putting negative out there for negative. I am.
Reload
This is
speed
information.
with commando,
This is
gunslinger, SWAT
education,
weapons,
right? Re-educating.
and healing stuff. Alright.
Right? And so, when I look at trolls, I would love to teach.
You choose? Alright.
I would love to teach them how to love again.
I'm just gonna choose something random.
Joy in the world that happens because it's out there. You know.
Do I have
Now, if
commando
there's someone
fully?
that's getting picked on by
I have.
if you're
Oh,
getting bullied, it's one thing over the internet. It's another thing in person.
oh they gave me a
face to face. You're gonna
MP7
have
though.
your-
That's pretty lit.
Let's say you're the one that's getting bullied, right? Let's say you're the one
MP7
controlled. That's
in the
easier.
beginning?
That's
Woo.
easier to do. Iggy it.
Cheeky.
Just throw it on your Iggy list and go, no, doesn't exist, right? But at some point in time, you're going to need to develop the tools to deal with it. Because when you get in the real world,
Rhino,
physically
eh?
speaking, you're going to have to know how to deal with that. And if you can't deal with it on the internet, you're not going to be able to.
Do
deal
we
with it
have
in real life.
something? Ooh.
My advice: soul searching. Honestly, the best tools I ever learned was in martial arts because that's where I real found true spirituality.
You're gonna hate
Wasn't
me
in
when I pick
church,
S5.
And I'm not putting down church. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, wasn't in church.
Goon has S5, but never
We're
wants
very
to train
dogmatic,
plat
we're
with
not
me.
practical,
You're plat?
You know,
Holy
it's our
fuck.
way, that's it, and everybody else is the devil. And that's the truth with all religions. All religions are.
I'm a
equal.
bronze.
There's none that is universally acceptable of other religions. Every religion is its own sect, and it is a cult. And I can prove that because I do have my degree in psychology, and I can. The criteria for cult, really quickly, is psychological, emotional, informational, and behavioral control. Anything that controls you, all four of those formats, is a cult by definition. Now, the only difference is, are they benign or are they benign, right? And so, sorry, are they malevolent or if they're benign? If they're malevolent, something can be done about it. Okay? But if they're benign, nothing can be done about it. You're an adult, you can make your own decision making.
Uh-oh.
I want you to recognize it. I pulled away from the church a long time ago because I saw it for what it really was. I didn't know a cult at the time, I just knew it was wrong, right? And so if you're under control by anything, right? Information, behavioral, psychological, and emotional, all four have to be in play. Not just one, not two, or three, all four.
God damn it. I
If you're
missed
being
so
controlled
much.
by all
I'm dead.
four, that's a cult.
God
That's
damn
a
it.
cult. Okay?
Fucking
See, I can't control
bastards.
because you have the power to turn this off at any time. If I could,
And that's the difference between suicidal and hard.
that's control, right? If I control your information, because I'm the only source of information, which I'm not. You got your TV set, you got your radio, you got your friends, you got your family. But if I control that, that's another form of control. You see what I mean? And it's by having those four sets of control. Information starts with that. Behavioral, emotional, and psychological. If I control all four of those, I'm a cult. I don't. I can't. It's impossible. Not like this. We'd have to be face to face. Legit. So there's a reason why Waco happened. Because David got everybody to be next to him. Right? Next to him. The guy who ran next to him there. There's a reason that happened. Because he got everybody
You want to get the plat
to
with
be
Goon.
next to him. And then when you got
I don't think
people that
Goon
be in one spot, you can control
plays
them.
that
No,
much
I'm not that guy.
S5. I think he doesn't play it as much because
Ever, you know,
his
those are
internet
psychopaths.
has
Those are
hissy
people
fits
that
from
typically
time to
aren't
time.
people at all. Okay, that's a separate story for another time, but I just want to touch on that because it plays into this. So, why do you want to put that negativity into the universe? You know, why do you want to destroy other people's lives and destroy your own life and destroy everything else around you when you can make it more healthy? You see, every time we talk about something in a negative context, every time we talk about things in a negative way, we put negative into the universe, right? Why do you want to do that? So, my advice, don't gossip. Don't lie. Don't troll. And if someone is trolling you and it's getting to you, let it go. Okay, just let it go. Now you're going to need to develop tools, okay, on how to deal with trolls, alright? That's a separate topic altogether, you know, just like I was ranting on that other thing there a little bit. You know, it's a separate thing altogether. So, if you want me to do a video on that, let me know and I'll do that on tools and how to deal with it. I think actually you asked that in this question, so maybe we will answer this. It could be a long video then, guys, okay? But it's a good one. So, okay, so dealing with trolls on the internet is easy because you can just ignore it, right? You have the power. You can turn off the computer at any time. Turn off your device at any time. You can Iggy people. You can actually block them, you know, so you don't see them anymore, right? That's an easy way to do it. But is it really going to help you? You need to develop tools, okay? So let's deal with it now in real life because it's a little more harder. Let's say you bump across a negative person. I have. I'm not going to mention their name because it gives them power. Even though they're not here with me physically to hear me talking, they get power because the universe, the cosmos, energy, everything's about energy, right? And we put negative energy out there and we talk about someone in a negative way. We're adding to that negative power. So what do you want to do? Add to the positive or the negative? I want to add to the positive.
Well, then why are you making this video?
Positive, right? So by not speaking in a way that shows personal gain and speaking in a way that is to educate people, to help people to become better human beings, I'm not contributing to that negative power. I'm using it in a constructive manner.
Yeah, we're done. Kung Fu 2021 review.
Here. I just made a video of the dissection and reaction video of Fantasy Island Part 2, or Episode 2. I hope you enjoy it. And I just wanted to do a really quick thing here about Kung Fu, the 2021 show. Fucking sucks. Again, it's the whole woke thing all over again, so this is like my review of it.
Oh shit, he's playing Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
Exactly.
Woo! That's a good one.
Show, only with
That's a
women.
really good one.
I mean, everything that happens in the first episode is literally what happened to David Carradine in Kung Fu. You know, this reskinning of older TV shows and bringing them back with women in power is absolutely fucking insulting and ridiculous. You know, anyone who has any kind of intelligence and who actually understands what the older shows were about and sees the whole woke thing going on is just going to twirl their eyes, look in the back of their head just to make sure their brains are in place, because that's exactly what happens here. We see the temple get destroyed. We see her master get destroyed, which is a chick. We see the chick, this other chick who is her rival.
A real experiment,
you know,
kids.
and everything that happens in Kung Fu, the one done in the 70s, is the exact same thing that happens here in 2021. And the only thing that's different here is that you have women instead of men, and it's just women. There's no men in it. It's just women. And on top of it, they also modernize it, like meaning modern buildings, you know, cars and cell phones and shit like that. That's it. That's all I have to say about this. It is pure and utter complete bullshit and trash. And I'm getting sick and tired of watching the shows I grew up with and respected and loved and seeing them getting debased and turned into
I hate dual wield. It's so inaccurate.
Platform like the woke movement. That's all I have to say about it. I'm done. You know, you watch the show, see for yourself. It's on video on demand until the 30th of this month, you know, and then it's gone. But you know what? You're far better off watching the old stuff. You know, all it is just reskinning it and modernizing it and turning it into a woke movement thing. And it's just fucking silly and stupid as hell. I couldn't believe the shit I was watching when I was watching it. That's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, about Kung Fu 2021. It sucks. Don't watch it, don't support it. It's not worth your time. Go watch the older ones. You'd be far better off. If you like the older ones, you're not going to like the new ones. That's all it is. Just one big lecture. Again, you know, this shit needs to stop. Take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Well, that was a short video.
I am surprised and a bit your success is revolting.
Yeah, nah, I'm fucking shit with that. Oh shit, he gave me my thing back. Nice. Nah, my aim is off today.
It's totally secure. The sets are far underperforming my projections.
Good as new.
Yeah, that's a no for me. And then I want to save it for the kilowatt, to be honest. Just in case, I'll buy Dragon's Breath.
Everyone still got arms and legs?
Oh, yo, fucking tired.
Sarajevo all over again.
And here is the pod. You do know how to use this, yes?
Right, gotta get better at aiming.
There are no Zeds permitted in the marked area, not even my clones.
Game time! I'm a crack shot! Ready to take on the world. I can't see! Fit as a fiddle. Watch out, Zed's just close!
Oh, stinks a bit, doesn't it?
Cover me!
Ah!
Ready to take on the world. Shit! Fit as a fiddle. So, good as new. Tempo finito, that one.
Clean up the remainder. Renfred will see they are properly recycled.
Hear anything? Tell, good as new. Shit!
Tuk, 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 tuk,
Fit
tuk,
as a
tuk.
fiddle. Get it off me!
I'm not sure these diagnostics are right, but they say the area was mostly secure. 9, I don't see how.
Maybe we scared the rest off. Right.
Do, 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 do.
You realize you have no armor?
Yeah, not bad.
Center fire is ain't the worst thing in the world. I need to get used to it though.
Yeah.
I wish I could like sort
Come on,
these.
me
Oh,
guys.
there you go. No, no, that's not how you sort these. Favorites? No. Okay.
Last chance
You can't
for
sort it.
guns and ammo,
Well, I can
please.
sort it like this, I suppose. Like, if I do that. Alright, Winchester, Moses the God. 14.
Trader time is
Fucking
over. Did you
bastards.
get what you need to survive?
No, I didn't. I done it again. I looked at stuff before I fucking done stuff. Not too bad, obviously, but
You're proper cooked, mate.
you're proper cooked, mate.
You dead. Bloody got me. And bloody mistake.
Sirens. Sirens kill me so quickly. So quickly. Video gaming news. Let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our edition of Clinic Man 10. This time around, we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Got some bullets here to go over, so I can keep it shorter, hopefully. Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Oh, God. I've got words about this. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remakes. And World War Z Aftermath. So these are my thoughts, my opinions about these things. This is where we're at now in terms of gaming, call it that. And these are just my thoughts about these things. So let's address Cyberpunk 2077. Just the other day, these are just bullets and then I'm just going to go off the top of my head. Just the other day they came out in a stream and it got basted by the community. You know, they did a live stream talking about the state of the Cyberpunk, what they like about it, what they enjoy about it, where they're going in the future with it, and everything like that. And I was shocked that a lot of people are like, don't fuck up Witcher 4, right? Hang on a sec here. First off, let's fucking fix Cyberpunk before we think about The Witcher 4, because why would you put your faith into a company that fucking obliterated Cyberpunk and think that The Witcher 4 is going to be better? You know, it doesn't make any sense. It's like when you look at the PS4 and you go into the PS5, well, they didn't fix the problems with the PS4, and they made the PS5 worse, which is true, right? Sony did that, right? So why would you think CDPR would be any different when it comes to a video game? They fucked up on Cyberpunk. What makes you think The Witcher 4 is going to be good? You know, I wouldn't be looking forward to anything by AAA companies right now. I mean, we got Ubisoft, we got EA, we got Bethesda, we got all this shit going on with all these different companies, Square Enix, and they all suck. You know, they're doing atrocious business practices that affect us emotionally, psychologically, physically, and financially. You know. So, here, I pay attention to what they're saying in this stream. And what they're saying is like, hey, look at this cosmetic. Look at this outfit, right? You look at how sparse the environment really is. Okay, and I'm talking about on the base PS4 here, right? They made a lot of promises about Cyberpunk, what Cyberpunk was going to be, what it was going to be like, and they failed to deliver. Okay? They pushed this out way too soon. And all the development team that was there before is gone. Like all of them, gone, right? And now you got this new development team there that has no idea of what it is, right? It doesn't even compare to Grand Theft Auto. I mean, you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, right, on the base PS4. So you can't say it's the hardware because it's not the hardware. It's a lack of proper development. It's not the developer's fault. It's the fault of the publisher because they pushed it out way
they affect
too
you
soon.
physically.
This is something that needs to go back into the oven for several years, literally. Like this needs a good 2 to 4 years of development still. That's how bad it really is, right? So they announced like all these little cosmetic things and shit like that. The world has been reduced dramatically, and people say, well, it's better on the PS4 Pro, or it's better on the PS5, or it's better on the PC. Fuck off with that shit. This was announced in the 360 era, which is the PS3 era. They announced this, and they said, this is what we're doing. Okay, this is what we're making. And instead of actually giving us a proper product that runs on everything, because it can, and it should, and we should have a really good population. Here, I'll give you a perfect example, okay? The best way to relate Cyberpunk is to Grand Theft Auto, and I think anybody who's smart will actually agree with me on this. If you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, you have 3 main characters to choose from.
Grand Theft Auto is a action-adventure game.
That's what I remember.
Cyberpunk is an RPG game.
And then the black guy there, you know, I forget his name offhand, okay? You have 3 main characters. You have
Name is
3
Franklin. How do you not
massive
notice?
stories going on here in a world with all these different areas in the city where it's vibrant and alive. And look at all the traffic. Look at all the action that takes place. Look at how smart the police are. Look at how smart the AI is. You know, the citizens and that. You go to steal their car, they react appropriately. And look at how densely populated the city is. Each district, prostitutes, all sorts of shit, crime, violence, all sorts of shit going on. It feels like a real vibrant city. And not drawing in as you play. It's there, permanent, right? You spin around, the characters don't change. It's the same people that were there 5 minutes ago, you know. And they're sitting there talking on their phones and everything else, and they act like real people. The city feels like real people. The districts feel like real people. This is the rich district. This is the poor district. This is the in-between district. And they all have
I should not back into a corner. I always do that.
Gang violence scaled accordingly. It makes sense. Okay, Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably the best Grand Theft Auto game to come out yet. Right? They're probably the most challenging one. Okay? My personal favorite is Vice City, which we're going to talk about here coming up. But the reason why I bring this up is because that's exactly what Cyberpunk was supposed to be like, but in a Blade Runner atmosphere, right? And
fucking up. I'm doing bad this round.
And what I don't understand is
obviously
why today's gamer defends this kind of shit. You know, so they come out with a stream, a live stream, right? And they announce all the things that they're doing. Everybody was pissed off. Finally, the fan base is getting pissed off, right? 8 months into the game.
Nah, I'm pretty sure
finally, the
fans were pissed off already.
I got so pissed off at this stream and the lack of proper information. Because you know what their free DLC is? The shit that was supposed to be in there in the first place. Yeah, that's right. You see, you got to be careful when companies say we're giving you DLC or it's free. Because the thing you really should be questioning is, shouldn't that have been in the base game in the first place? And that's exactly what this is. Hackers, what do you guys call them? Data miners or something like that? They go out and they found out a bunch of shit that if you have a computer and you have Grand Theft Auto, you can play all the free DLC right now. Because it's actually in the game. Right? And all you need to do is type in a certain amount of coding or something to unleash it. Because it's there. Right? And they proved it. They actually showed this. And when this came out on Twitter or Reddit or something like that, it caused a big uproar in the Cyberpunk community, right? And they're like, well, what the hell's going on, CDPR? What are you guys doing here? You guys promised us free DLC. Remember, wordplay here, right? Look back 6 months ago at what CDPR did. They came out with an apology on YouTube, right? And did they live up to that apology? No. The developers all left because of the poor conditions, right? And the gamers were left with like, what the fuck is this shit? I take
that's not me, that's him.
And if I'm wrong about that,
his laptop fucks
man.
up.
You guys are in your 20s, I'm in my 50s, okay? That was like 30 years ago for me, okay? But the thing is that when I look at the sad state that Cyberpunk is in right now, I finally got pissed off that last night I got refunded my money. I waited 8 months and I said, look, I used vanilla Visa cards to buy this shit. Can you just put it into my wallet? And they did. Thank you. I appreciate that. So Sony was very understanding. This is something I'm going to give Sony credit on, right? And I was talking to a fellow Canadian that was on the other side of the border. Like I'm in the western, provinces, and she was in the eastern provinces. We got talking. We had a great time. We had a really good conversation, And hey, honestly, probably the best customer service I ever had was with that lady, and I'm glad I held the phone for her because she was awesome. So anyway, I got my money back finally because I'm just done. Because this is the kind of bullshit they were doing, right? Oh look, we got free DLC for you. And then we find out from data miners that's not true because all you have to do is type in a certain code and it'll activate all that free DLC right now. It's right there right now. If you have a PC, you can do it right now. And then they were selling us on, oh, here's some new clothes. And, can we just get real here for a second? Can you fix the fucking core mechanics of the game at least? Your car mechanics are a joke. They're flying all over the place. It's so unpopulated now, it doesn't even look like a city. It looks like a desert. There's like no one around. And I'm not joking about this. And you know what? You're going to have today's gamer, which is going to be an idiot, because they are. Because they have to be justified in why.
Yo, whoa. What happened to no negative energy, my guy? You just called the gamers idiots.
You play it on the PS5 is better. You play it on the PC is better. That's bullshit. Because it's not. because the core game is the core game, and everybody gets that version of it. The only thing that changes is
And that
the
dude's
graphics.
good. What is he? Commando?
That's the only thing that
SWAT?
changes.
Yeah, sounded like a
It's
SWAT.
not the frame rate. It's none
I
of
know that
stuff.
fucking sound.
It's, you know,
Chris
they first
SMG?
worked
Probably.
on this
Most
on
likely.
PC, which makes sense because it's being built on a PC, right? But then as they
Batman still talking shit
their
about free
consoles,
DLC. He
which
played a
is
game for
totally
200 hours and got his money back.
consoles,
Yeah.
that's not the problem. Right?
Imagine
This
playing
one's
for
better
200
on
hours and wanting your
PS4
money back
Pro.
still.
No, that's the consumer being an idiot and not actually understanding how electronics works.
I would never refund
What you have here,
Cyberpunk because
you
it's
have a
like,
game,
eventually,
here's a base game, here's a
updates will
game on the
happen and it's
PC,
going to be fun to revisit
and
it.
then they go and they put it onto the PlayStation and they go and put it onto the Xbox. And
Data
things
mine
like
all
that.
games and
Here's
DLCs
the
already in
problem,
those. Crap about
right?
practically every
And
game
the
on the
problems
market
are
because
there
you just
because
got it sooner
that's
with
the core
testing.
game.
Nah, fuck that. Yeah.
Even the developers were saying
He doesn't,
Cyberpunk, they said, hey, look,
he
here's the
doesn't
problems
keep in
with
mind
it.
that
We're
testing
not ready
stuff
yet.
is a
We still
thing.
have a lot of work to do.
Usually in a build,
Which they did.
you put the
And they
shit in
told-
that you already want to
and instead of
release.
addressing it properly, they come out with an apology video that obviously they didn't care about.
This thing ain't the
because
best.
They said, look, we're gonna give
This
you
thing is
free
good,
DLC. And you're thinking,
but you need something
okay,
else
free
with it.
content to make up for it, right? You're gonna get extra quests. You're gonna get like all this awesome stuff, right? This is what you're thinking. That's what I'd be thinking, right? No, it's just the parts of the files that aren't patched
Again, this
yet
fucking corner,
that
man.
they're going to be releasing later on, you know, to be like so-called free DLC, right? It's not free. It's not DLC. It is the shit you were supposed to get to begin with. And when I noticed this, when I noticed what they were saying,
I might get it
and how
once
they
it's
were
all out and
distracting
fixed.
with
Costs like
costumes
$30.
and,
Yeah, do
look,
that.
we got sliders now
It's
for
definitely a
the
good game.
character customizations, and
It's just it got
all these
overhyped and
little
it had a lot of
things that should have
bugs.
been there in the first
No
place.
deaths.
They were distracting you the whole time. Because they didn't want you to
It's not
catch
as
on to
bad
what
as
the free
Panic Man
DLC
says
really
it is.
Which was the coding that was supposed to be in the game in the first place to make everything work. You know, here's your quest being fixed and stuff like
I'm fucking
that.
up
They're
this
not fixing this
this
stuff.
round.
They're
Well, not this
fixing
wave,
the
this
core-
game.
They're not fixing the core mechanics of the game.
Cause
You know, the world shouldn't be densely populated, or should be sparsely populated like that.
I'm
gonna
fucking
explain
around
this,
too
okay?
much with
I want
weapons.
you to really pay close attention to this, okay? You look at Cyberpunk, and you listen to these other
I'm gonna
channels,
suck the
like
game
Open
off one
World
week,
Gamer,
then hit it the
right?
next,
What
and
a
flip
fucking
flop for
idiot
like a
that
month.
guy
Yep.
is, right? All these
We
people
watched
that
all those
cover
videos.
Cyberpunk, right? All say the same thing. Well, it works better on the PS4 Pro. It works better on the PS5. It works better on the PC. Bullshit. No, it doesn't. I have watched people post videos having the same damn problems I am on a base PS4, on a PC, on a PS5, on a PS4 Pro, on the Xbox One, Series S, whatever. I've seen it.
Look at that.
I've seen it. You know, I'm not an idiot. I go out there and I watch gameplay and I watch people post. Here's the problems I'm having on a PS5. Here's the problems I'm having on a Series X. You know, here's the problems I'm having with whatever, or even on the PC. And the problems are still there. And it's only the gamer that's the idiot, because the gamer just broadly accepts it instead of
I like the
doing
sound
all
it
research.
makes. There,
Remember, I tell you
weed,
guys, eh?
weed.
Do your own research. This is why you do your own research, because people fucking lie.
Says the guy who doesn't even
And
know how
they
to
buy into other
how to
people's
pirate
lies and
gates
make
because he doesn't do
videos
his own
about it.
research.
Like this one, for example, but this isn't a lie. This is me telling you the truth, because you know I dig into shit, right? And I find stuff out. And the thing is that I really found offensive about the whole thing is that they're not fixing the problems that are right there with the game.
Oh, I had a thing for that?
And I'm
Alright,
like,
cool.
Why are you guys not fixing this? Like, you know, this is what I'm thinking, right? Throughout the stream, right? And they're trying to sell you on all this shit, and they're trying to sell you on the free DLC, and then they finally got basted the other night there during their stream. Good. I'm
The
glad.
fuck is basted?
It's about fucking time that the gamer woke up and realized that they're getting ripped off. So what I did
Man,
is
look
I
at the
became
fucking
proactive.
put
I waited
things
8
I put in
months,
them.
right? I think that's
Yeah, and
plenty
I
of
think
time
free throw is
for them
better
to
for
patch it up,
support.
for them to fix it, to go, you know
Like,
what, fuck it, I'm moving on to
If
the
I
next
was
one,
helping
right?
these guys out, which I
So
am,
I
kind
called
of,
Sony and I said, look, I
suppose.
want my money back. I don't care. I want my money back. I'm just done. I waited 8 months. They came out with a live stream. Go check it out if you think I'm bullshitting. You know, and do check it out if you think I'm bullshitting. They did. They came out with a live stream just a day or two ago. You know, and they announced all this shit, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. And they're like, oh, look at this new outfit. Oh, look. we're giving
I
you
don't
a
think I
outfit
can
and
kill
that."
people, but yeah, I
don't
can.
care.
It just takes a
I
while.
want the game to fucking work. I want to be able to play it. I want to be able to play Blade Runner with the Grand Theft Auto theme to it. And you have to admit,
Cyberpunk was never Blade Runner though.
This
Blade
is
Runner is
exactly
about
what people are
replicants.
gonna compare it to as Grand Theft
Replicants?
Auto, and
I think so,
rightfully
replicants.
Now, my argument, my debate, my rebuttal to everybody out there that goes, oh, you know what, it's because you have a shitty console. No, it's not. GTA 5 works fine. We got GTA 5 in first person even. You notice when they went from the PS3 to the PS4, what did they do? It wasn't just a graphical upgrade. They made it first person perspective. They changed the view of the game.
Oh, fuck off.
Right?
You really gonna suck off
here it is
GTA?
on the PS4.
I've been around since
Okay,
2011.
First person, all
Game.
the cars around with their own AI, all the people around with their own AI, and a proper police system here that goes from 1 star all the way up to like what, 4 or 5 stars I think it is, where you go to max it out, and you get treated accordingly to where they call them the fucking army. And what does CDPR do? They can't even get the car AI to work. If you sit there right now, if you were to put the game in right now, and I did before I turned it in, you know, if you were to put the game in right now, and you were to block off the road,
PlayStation
cars
Vita
will
runs
not go around
fine on
your car.
PlayStation 4.
But if you do
Why
that
doesn't
in Grand Theft
Cyberpunk
Auto,
work?
they do
Yeah.
it. Okay, you point a gun at somebody, and all the AI does the same thing everywhere. Everybody just goes down like this and crunches down, right? What does the AI do in Grand Theft Auto? Beats the fuck out of you. That's what they do. They either run away from you or they beat the fuck out of you. You're trying to steal my car, bitch? I don't think so. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. What does the police do? They shoot at you. They try to kill you. So here we have a proper police system where they try to hunt you down and give you a ticket for a violation, right?
Let's try this bad boy.
Oh, you're an asshole and you're shooting your machine gun in public? Well, we're going to take you out with the SWAT team. And they bring in the army if you get high enough in the stars, right? And no matter where you try to hide, they do
I'm
their
lazy
best
today.
to find you. The AI is really intelligent.
I'm not even in the mood for a
Citizens
fucking restaurant,
act
man.
like citizens.
I just want to
Police
fucking
act like
sit here and do
police.
nothing.
Prostitutes act like prostitutes. Gangs act like gangs. And it just works. Because Rockstar took the time to make sure it did. And this is something I'm going to give Rockstar credit for. They're about the only AAA company so far that hasn't fucked up yet. Yet. I'm waiting for that to happen. Like, wait till GTA 6 comes out. I'm cringing over this, you know. And the problem here is that CDPR never did address the problems within Cyberpunk. And all they keep doing is filling us full of bullshit and distraction techniques like, look at this new outfit, but never really fixing the real problems of the game, which are the core mechanics, right?
Oh my goodness.
Making the world sparsely populated is not a way of fixing your game. Like, you brag and boast about how robust the world is going to be, and Grand Theft Auto 5, which was a game that was on the PS3, came out on the PS4 with first person and has an immense population. You actually really feel like you're in the city. Has helicopters, airplanes, boats. Has people jogging, running, and violence, and just breakouts.
I fell off, didn't I?
Strip clubs, all sorts
God
of
damn
stuff
it.
going on.
I was about to
that
fucking test out that gun.
CDPR bragged about, boast about, that they were going to do better than Rockstar did in a Blade Runner atmosphere. And I was like, awesome. When it first came out, right? I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this. I actually pre-ordered it. And this is the only time I tripped up was pre-ordering. This is why I don't believe in it, and this is why I'll never do it again. And the thing is that I was really, really disappointed when it first came out. But I didn't have the problems that other people had. I was fine with the product when it came out. I was disappointed because it didn't live up to the hype. But then they released patch after patch, and they completely broke the game. And then that really pissed me off because I can't play it, right? And then they finally come out and they say, well, we're happy with the state it's in. I'm not. I'm done. And the other night there, when they came out this stream...
When did they brag saying it would be better than Rockstar did?
You guys aren't fixing the problem.
Yeah, he's making shit up.
About the shit that needs to be done, right? And they're like, well, we got
He wants the shit on it.
Oh, but it's the best
So badly.
yet. Hey, yeah,
He doesn't want to admit it's a
I've
mediocre
heard this
game with
before.
bugs.
You know, when companies lie to you,
Like, it's
they
a good
use
game, it's just they got
actors,
overhyped
they
the
use
shit.
certain phrases, like
And they showed
the
things
best
at the
ever
E3
thing
trailers
they
and
had,
shit
or
that
body
isn't in it.
praise of and stuff
They,
like that, like,
it's
you
a
know,
No Man's Sky.
that,
It's not a bad game, it's
Blood
just...
and that, I got concerns about that,
it's
and I
not the
shared it
game
in
they
my
we were
review for
promised.
open beta. And the thing is, when I look at the state that Cyberpunk is in, it's
Now, I
never gonna
can't
get fixed.
say anything
Never.
for PlayStation
'Cause they're not
4
gonna invest that kind of
Cyberpunk.
money that's gonna take.
That might be
And
bad.
people are like, that's okay. No, it's
Then
not
again,
okay.
Panic Man played
It's
200
never
hours
okay.
of it, so it probably
You should never
isn't as
release a
bad.
product beforehand. See, this is why I'm concerned about the internet, right? Why I don't like the internet, right? Because it gives them an excuse to try to turn into a reason as to why they came up with a shitty product, because they're like, well, we can patch it later on. That's laziness. If you did a lazy job at your job, you get fired. So why aren't we firing these guys? And that's what I did last night. I finally said, you're fired. I did the Donald Trump thing. You're fired, right? So that's where I'm at with Cyberpunk. I'm done. I'm just done with the AAA companies. I'm going back to indie developers, and I'm playing their shit. Oh, which, by the way, I need to bring up a thing about Verdun. I just thought about this, actually. So I'm going to put a bullet here. There's actually a reason to go back for Verdun. I'll talk about that here in a second. I'm going to put a bullet. Hold on, we're not done, guys. I'm always thinking about new stuff here, okay?
I wish you wouldn't.
One sec. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so just my thought on Verdun. So that's Cyberpunk in a nutshell, right? They're not going to fix this thing. I can tell you that right now. After this stream the other night there, they got based. They said, well, we're going to do more of these. I think they call it the Red Zone or something like that. And I'm just like, no, there's no reason for it. Like, you know, you guys are full of shit. You guys are lying to us. You guys have been lying right from the
Lost
start.
my fucking
you guys
guns.
made a promise you couldn't deliver. This should have
Probably
been
not
done
over
to
here, is it?
Rockstar. Like, honestly,
Nah,
Rockstar
it's
should have
not.
done this. Rockstar is fantastic at making open world games. They've made
Rockstar's a
Red Dead Redemption,
faggots who put way too much
They've
fucking
made all the Grand Theft Auto games.
things into
They're
fucking
all
open
awesome.
world
My personal favorite is Vice
online
City, which is
stuff.
getting a facelift, which is what we're gonna
Rockstar
talk
are
about next.
worse than
So,
Cyberpunk, my guys.
That's it. I'm done about Cyberpunk news. I'm done about Cyberpunk, period. I'm done with CDPR. I don't trust them anymore. Matter of fact, all AAA companies I do not trust. This is publishers and developers alike. I'm going back to indie developers because at least they give a shit about their product. And I'm
Like,
only
do you know what
getting bad
Rockstar
shit
did with
from
Red Dead
developers
Online? Do
and
you know what they
games
did with
after they
fucking
come out.
GTA
If
Online?
I believe they deserve my money, because if they
Fucking
don't, I'm not
bastards,
buying
man.
it. It's just that simple, okay? The next thing to talk about here, okay, alright, well I was going to say GTA, but I got Skyrim in between there. Well, let's go to GTA. So, GTA is getting a facelift. And it's actually coming to the Switch. This, I fucking love. This is great news, right? Now, for most of us that have the
I'm gonna die.
consoles, besides the Switch, we already have GTA. We've already played it a bunch of different times. We played GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. All of these are getting a facelift. And all this is happening in 2021, by the way, okay? They're getting a facelift, and not only that, but they're coming out on the Switch. That is phenomenal news, because it's nice to see mature titles like this coming out on the Switch, because it'll make people like me that are hesitant about the Switch going, well, it doesn't have enough mature content on there to go.
So,
Grand
you're
Theft
happy
Auto
a game that's
3,
fucking older
Vice City,
than
and San Andreas. Okay, you know what? I'm
like
curious to
10
see how that
years.
runs
You're
on the
happy
Switch.
it's going to be on the Switch because
I'm
that will
excited
add
for
more
the Switch,
maturity, but you already
but it's
played that
also
mature game, so
being
why do you need it
modernized
on the
for
Switch?
this console, graphically speaking. So this is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how they do this, because personally I love Vice City. Vice City was like my all-time favorite. I mean, the 80s music, the clothes, the hairstyle, everything nostalgia about the 80s. I love it. I love it, and I would love to see it get a facelift. I would love to see it brought up to modern times.
Dragon's
and
Breath?
get
No,
treated the way
Kaboom
that
Stick.
it should
Well,
be, right?
he'll do.
I hate all these damn pop-ups, man. Jesus Christ. In the middle of video stuff doing this shit, you know. I turn on my laptop like a half hour ago, and it's like doing this shit. So anyway, I just wanted to say I would mention that in passing here, since we're talking about Grand Theft Auto and Cyberpunk and shit like that, that these three games are coming up on the Series S, X, and the Xbox, you know, the PlayStation 5 now, but also coming out on the Switch, and it's going to be happening in 2021. That's going to be fucking awesome. I think that's a great idea, and I think this is going to be great because it's coming to the Switch, right, which is a platform that's never been on yet. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
I
hope
saw
it
her,
works well. I hope it
and I
works
done
well.
the fucking...
And hope
I
it
saw her and I
works
was like,
great, so
flee,
I'm looking forward to
and I
seeing
was
what
done.
you guys have to say that have Switches when it does come out.
Buy
What
a
do you
Switch,
guys
get
think
another
about it, you know?
4-year-old GTA game.
When it
Yeah.
does come out, if it does live up to the hype, I just might rebuy it again.
That's like me
for the
buying a
Vice City, and
fucking
that'll probably
Steam
be
Deck
one
and
of the
going like, yo, I can finally play Doom on
But the
this.
trilogy's being packed as a trilogy and sold separately, so, you know, if they price it right, I just might get the trilogy. Like, if it's like $60, $20 a game or something like that, I probably would get it, you know, because you got 3 games in one. Like, you know, like what they did with Mass Effect, right? Do something like that. with improvements like that, then yeah, I'll get it. If not, I don't know. You know what I mean? It sounds like another cheesy thing to do. Speaking of cheesiness, okay, another Skyrim edition is coming out. Surprise, surprise, right? Bethesda. You know, here's the thing.
Oh, watch
Microsoft
him hate on
acquired
this.
Bethesda,
Watch him hate
okay?
on this, but not on
And
GTA.
what's their first step to do? Well, let's focus on Starfield. Well, no one cares about Starfield.
Scott
What
was
we care
wiped
about is
out.
the next
GG.
Elder Scrolls. Here's the problem with Bethesda.
Ugh.
They have not released a single-player game in 10 years.
Oh,
Think
really?
about it.
Has Rockstar done
They
it?
released ESO, but they have not released
Well,
a
I guess
single-player
Red Dead
game
Redemption
in
2,
10 years.
but still.
That's fucking ridiculous. And then their solution. Their solution.
The hypocrisy in
instead of coming out with the next
this.
Elder Scrolls game, which by
The
the
fucking
way,
hypocrisy in
is
this.
not scheduled for at least 2026. That's 5 years from now. That'd be like 15, 16 years before we got a fucking Elder Scrolls game. When every 3 to 4 years they were coming out, every console generation.
Oh, he
had at
watched the
least one
video.
Elder Scrolls
He
game.
watched the
New one.
memes.
This is fucking ridiculous. This is how bad Bethesda really is. You understand that Microsoft acquiring this is probably the worst thing that Microsoft ever did. Yeah, they have a lot of interesting IPs, but they ran them into the ground. They ran Fallout into the ground, right? You take a look at all their stuff. The Elder Scrolls, they did that with Elder Scrolls Online. They didn't bother coming out with a single player experience because they're just like, oh, we'll just cash cow it, right? And so what do? Okay, for the last 10 years, Skyrim this, Skyrim that, Skyrim VR, right? Skyrim on the Switch. I'm not bashing it on the Switch.
Goon, do you
that's
like
right. Don't get me
Skyrim?
wrong.
I think I know the
We've
answer,
had about
but
19, and I'm not joking, think about it, we've had 19 to 20 different versions by now of Skyrim. I'm not joking, including the one coming up. Surprise, surprise, the Anniversary Edition, right? And you know what they're proud of? We put fishing into the game. Oh my god, I've been wanting to do this so long, now we can actually fish. I'm not kidding, that's what the developer said. The guy said in QuakeCon, he said, I've been wanting to fish for so long, now you can fish in Skyrim.
pretty sure there was a mod for that.
You know, part of me wants to be happy for a new version of Skyrim to come out, and part of me is just sickened by the cash cowing of Skyrim that it's fucking ridiculous, right? And that's where I sit with this, right? They got some things here, like we're going to come out with the Creation Club, you know, we're going to come out with all this content on the Creation Club. We're going to come out with more quests and stuff like that. I'm getting really anxious here. I might actually have to take this to the couch. 1 second. I'm going to pause this for a sec, guys.
Wait, you can't take it to the couch. Your couch is
Actually, I'm just
broken.
going to try and tough it out here. So, they're going to come up with the Creation Club stuff, right? They're going to come up with some extra quests, and you got to pay more money for it. Okay? They're going to put it on the Switch and on the consoles, and they're going to give it a graphical upgrade, which I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because they didn't show any gameplay, right? They're going to include fishing. They're going to include all the stuff that's in the Creation Club, and they're going to add more quests. You know, so I'm curious. Half of me is curious about it, but half of me feels like it's another cash grab, right? I mean, we had Skyrim VR, we had Skyrim Switch, we had Skyrim Special Edition, we had Skyrim, you know, all these different
Probably
things,
gonna
right?
lose this one.
And it's getting sickening. It really
I don't know
is.
these
Like, it's just
dudes.
sickening how much
The
different
new
versions
dudes.
they have. And when you stop to think about it, and seriously do, from the 360 era, the PS3 era on, we've had a total of 20 different Skyrims, including this one right now, the Anniversary Edition, okay? Now everyone's going to get a graphical upgrade, okay, with the Special Edition. Everyone's just going to get that. It's going to be available for next gen, so if you have a PS5 or you have a Series X or S, it will get a graphical upgrade, okay, including ray tracing and that kind of shit. That's going to be free. But then anything beyond that, you're going to have to pay for. Like, the Anniversary Edition is going to come with the Creation Club content, which is going to have 500 pieces of stuff, right? It's going to come with extra quests. Well, there's quests in the Creation Club, right? It's going to come with, and you get the idea. And the thing here that bothers me is that we're going to have to pay more money for it, right? Oh, but you can trade in your older version for this newer one, you know, physical or digital, right? You're going to be able to upsell it, right? But they didn't release a price tag for it and they didn't show any gameplay. I want to see what the graphics are going to look like. I want to see if it's worth it, right? Because for me, when we went from the PS3 360 to the PS4 Xbox One, it didn't feel like a proper upgrade. You know, All they did was put in some filters. That's it. Like, it felt,
Wait.
um, pale in comparison to what we had before, right?
Ah.
Like they're gonna include all the DLC, blah
Yeah, yeah,
blah
so you
blah. Well,
need
we know
2
that. That
extracts
was
to
already
play
in
this
special
card.
edition. What makes
Ah.
this one so special? Oh, we're
That
including the
makes sense.
Creation Club. I wasn't a fan of the Creation Club in the first place. I thought that it was cheesing it in the first place. That was just a way for them to cash cow it, to get
Wait,
more
did I
money
just
out of your
hurt? Yeah, I
pocket.
hurt
And
my
that's
own
my
guy.
concern here. Part of me is like, oh,
Dead
cool,
weight, unplayable,
Skyrim, but then
unpurgeable.
part of me is like, but why? Oh, well, we're doing what you did during the PS4 era. You know, you're just giving it a graphic overhaul.
Oh shit,
And
I
now
think I
we're going
just
to
killed
include
him.
extra
Fuck! I
content,
killed
which
my
is
own
done by
guy!
people like you and me that never did get paid for
I
it.
thought it was only.
And Bethesda just went and monetized it and went, okay, we're not going to pay you for it, but we're going to make more money off of it because we don't want mods on there anymore. We want you to buy the mods, which is what the Creation Club was all about, and it was way overpriced, right? And so they're going to bring out all this stuff and they're bragging
Goon,
about
don't
it, but
look.
really it's all been there
I'm
before.
not retarded, I
And
swear.
you have to buy it, like, through the Creation Club with Creation Club points, and it's fucking ridiculous how much money they want for that shit. So I'm curious how much they're going to charge for this next edition, the Anniversary Edition, right? So instead of coming out with a proper game, which we should have had by now, that's not going to happen until at least 2026. And they're proud of, hey, finally you can fish, but only at select locations, though, too, right? They actually have, bins there at selected places where you can fish. Oh, look, we added in a new fish,
I got lucky
too.
there.
This pod something. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? The thing that's got you the most juice is like, now there's fishing. Seriously, that was the developer's reaction. I'm so happy that we're doing this finally because now, I've always wanted to fish in Skyrim and now you can. I can't believe the bullshit that people buy into when it
Trigger when a
comes to
card
this
is
kind of
consumed.
stuff
All
and not
right,
collect for what
inspire.
it is. And that is just another way to rip off your wallet. I understand the Switch version. That makes sense because the Switch didn't have it. That makes sense. But stop fucking every generation coming out with a new version of the same fucking game over and over again, trying to brag like it's a brand new game, and it's not. It's decades old. We haven't had a proper
So is
game
GTA!
in 10 years. That's a long fucking time, right?
Ooh, I like it.
This
I like
thing's
its
gone
hands.
from the 360 PS3 to the Xbox One, PS4, to the PS5 Series XS. That's 3 generations of consoles. Okay, and we're not looking at a new Elder Scrolls game until at least, and they said this, 2026 at least, at the very least. It's probably going to take longer than that because they haven't even started. And Bethesda, they really fucked themselves. I wouldn't trust Starfield when it comes out. I would wait. I wouldn't trust anything. Like all games, I would never pre-order anything anymore. That's just where I sit on that. So that's that.
Says the guy who wants to pre-order TMNT.
The next thing I want to touch on is World War Z Aftermath. This is a cool idea, actually. Coming to the Switch, all consoles and everything like that. It's going to get a graphical upgrade, going to include all the DLCs, and is going to actually have more content. Like we're going to get things like a couple more episodes in that, where we're going to get more stories. Like there's going to be like 8 of them, 7 or 8 of them all together. And they're coming out with like first-person view. They're coming out with double-handed weapons and stuff like that, and using both hands and that. They really, really put a lot of thought into this. I think that's an awesome idea. I think Aftermath is going to be a great idea. I think you're better off buying the World War Z games and wait until Aftermath because it's coming out this September than you are to buy Back 4 Blood, which is coming out in October. World War Z is just going to be a far more better experience. They're going to include first person now, so it's more immersive. They're adding more
Does
levels
he have
to
sweep?
it, and
Yeah,
I
he has
just
sweep.
think it's a brilliant idea. And it's going to be available on all platforms with
All right.
graphical upgrades accordingly, right? So I think this is phenomenal. I think this is a great idea that they're coming out with World War Z Aftermath. And this is coming out in September. I think that's a fantastic idea. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Verdun. This is an indie game, right? And this is something I mentioned earlier, and I'm like, oh, thank God I remembered this. Verdun. Actually, there's a reason to go back to this now. I have it. I've been waiting for this. Now, as you guys go back 4 years ago, I did a review of Verdun. And the thing that pissed me off was there was only one game mode, that you could play offline, and that was the defense thing, right? And this is a World War One game, by the way. You're in the trenches and you're in World War One, right? Well, thankfully, finally, not too long ago, the developers finally released the ability to create your own game. And so this allows you to actually play the attack defend idea. You're actually playing the game
Human
that is
Fiend.
online offline now. Awesome.
The feed is
Because
only
now
good
you
if
get
you
to
could
adjust the sliders. You get to adjust the AI difficulty,
remove
choose the
one of
map you
his
want to play
things,
on, how many
and
bots you
then
want on there, so you don't
one
have
of
to
them
play with
things.
human beings, and you can play it offline. Everything. So you actually have the full proper game going back and forth during wartime. And you can put it on any map you want, any time of day, the weather conditions. You can set everything up your way you want to. You know, I'm glad they did this. I'm glad they put this in there. You know, so there's actually an extra section that they put in there where you can create your own game, literally. And this allows you to put bots in, allows you to put how many people you want in a game, things like that. So if you want to do couch co-op, you can do that. If you want to play it offline, you can do that. You can play with bots.
Ooh.
About fucking time that game developers are starting to think about this shit, because people like you and me, we want to play our games offline, right? And you have sliders too, by the way, for, you know, the difficulty of the AI. You can do like, you know, easy, normal, hard, that kind of shit, right? I think this is awesome. You know, I played it the other night there, and I was going to do a recording of it, and I think I still will, about me playing the game and that. I think that this is fantastic, because I like the idea of Verdun. I like the idea of World War One because it's never been done before, but I didn't like playing it online only. I wanted offline. And the only offline content at the time when I did the video, when I did my review 4 years ago, I haven't played it since, is because the only mode that they had offline was the defense mode. I want the real experience. I want the back and forth tug of war that war really is, right? I want to be able to advance, and I want to be able to take over their, you know, base and things like that. Or have them threaten my base and I have to defend it, right? And the thing is, too, is that they allow you to adjust the HUD. You can actually turn off all the indicators and have full immersion. Like, seriously. The only thing you have to go by is how red the screen is as to whether or not you're dying or getting hit.
Wait, does the fire get
And
rid
I
of
love
Inspire?
this.
No,
I think
it
this is
doesn't.
a fantastic idea. And this is for free.
It
They
added
put this
it.
in there for free. You know, the indie developers, I gotta say this, because Verdun, and then they came up with another one, which is like the Western Front, which is the Russia versus Germany, right? That game's out there too, and that one's highly immersive, just like this one too. Like, they actually carried this over into the other one, right? And so it allows you to run around free roaming. It allows you the actual World War I experience where you can play as the Canadians, as the Highlanders, as any of the groups that were out back then, you know, and that's awesome. You know, I think they did a phenomenal job here. So my review on Verdun, I'm going to have to re-review it now, because now they came out with the ability for you to create your own game. And this means bots. And this means you don't have to be online to play it. Offline. You know, I love that. I think that was brilliant. I'm glad they did it. So this is everything I have to say about gaming news, I guess is what we'll call this. You know, gaming news, right? Hopefully you guys catch this. So that's a Cyberpunk. It sucks. Done with it. Skyrim, another cash cow attempt. Let me know what you think about that. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas getting a facelift for current generation. And on the Switch for the first time. That's epic. I think it's an epic win for the Switch. I'm not too sure about the graphical upgrade. We'll have to see, because it could be cheesy, because they said, well, it's going to have some graphical upgrades, and in some
this is
ways
gonna
it's
suck.
going to stay the same. I'm
He
not
switched
too
this
sure
up,
about that. You
so
know,
my dude's
you're
gonna
either
die
do a
now.
graphical upgrade, you're going to do it, you know, the whole game, or if you do it in bits and pieces, it's going to stand out. It's going to be like an eyesore.
There's not
I'm
much I can
concerned
do
about that
here.
part of it. But it being on the Switch, I think, is a brilliant idea, because it hasn't been on the Switch yet. I think they should make it available. World War Z, I think this is a great idea. Aftermath, they're taking all the Game of the Year edition, and they're giving it an upgrade, and it's going to be on the next gen consoles, ray tracing and everything like that, and it's going to have all the content and more, and even be in first person and have dual weapons. And this is also going to be on the Switch too, but it's just not going to have the visuals, right? But hey, that's fucking awesome. They're thinking about the Switch too. And then the thing on Verdun. So there you go, guys. That's the news right now for what I know that I've learned about. Now I'm waiting for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to come out. I haven't seen anything more on that. And there was another game I was excited about, that Death Trap Dungeon, which is Ian Livingston's, and that's an FMV game. I can't wait to see that one, and that's not out until 2022. Neither is the Turtles game, somewhere around 2022, so we're going to have to wait on that. There's very little to be excited about.
Not enough Ember.
Nowadays. And I'm just going to wrap this up with my final thoughts here. You
The
know,
fuck?
where they're getting remasters all the time, or remakes or whatever, and it's just them kind of
Idiot.
the same title over and over again, like we're seeing with Skyrim yet again. Here's another edition.
I
It's
will
like,
win.
You know, seriously, today's gamer needs to get woke about gaming and actually understand it. And it's like, when are we going to get respected? You know, when's our wallet going to get respected? Here we have CDPR not respecting Cyberpunk, and then people talking about, you know, the next Witcher game. Why are you doing that? Why are you buying into their distraction techniques when you should hold them accountable, right? So there's a lot of cheesiness going on in the industry.
Bye,
But then
bitch.
there's some cool stuff like Verdun, free. You know, we're going to give you the ability to make your own game and put bots and everything like that. This is why I like indie developers, right? And then we look at World War Z Aftermath, and they got a lot of content coming out, and it's going to be available on all platforms and upgradable and scalable with ray tracing and everything like that to the current gen of consoles. I think that's a smart idea. GTA getting
Sorry?
the trilogy, getting the lift that they need.
Yeah.
I think this is a cool idea, but I got mixed feelings about it because I hear that they could be doing old graphics with new graphics. I'm not really a fan of that. Either you're going to do it completely or just do it so it's available on the Switch, you know, because like, you know, mixing the graphics between old generations and new generation is not
I don't know
a good
about these
idea.
ones,
Do a
fans.
complete overhaul
I can try this
properly,
one, but-
visually, if you're going to do that, or just leave it as is, you know, and make it playable on the Switch.
Let's do one more and then I
Regardless,
have to
it's
stop.
great news for Switch owners because then you're finally going to have, you know, Grand Theft Auto games on the Switch, but I think it really does need, you know, and something that makes me attracted to the Switch right there. Skyrim, another edition. Really, honestly, that's cheese. That's just cheese. You know, Bethesda, they're done. You know, I don't care that Microsoft has it. I think it's a little bit too late for Microsoft to save them. I don't think Microsoft can save Bethesda. I think Bethesda's just done. You know, I'm not the least excited about Starfield. I don't like what they did to the Fallout series. I don't like what they did to the Elder Scrolls series by making it online. We haven't had a proper game in 10 years, a single player experience. 10 years. I want you to think about that. Okay, Bethesda's really put them in an interesting bind, and I think Microsoft was stupid for buying them out. I really do. I understand they have a lot of interesting IPs, but the bottom line is I'm not interested. I'm going to indie developers now. I'm going to the old school stuff. This is why I keep talking about Phantasy Star and things like that. And if you guys play them, let me know what you think about them. This is why I come up with challenges, like, you know, with the Skyrim. You know what I mean? I come up with different ways to play these games to make it more challenging for you guys, to make it more interesting, to make it more harder for you. So you guys play games and have fun playing them. Like, you know, and if you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. The point is that you don't need to buy a new game. You know, you got plenty of stuff there. You know what I loved about old school gaming when it comes to RPGs? I'll talk about this here briefly, and this will be brief. Is that it literally would take you months, if not years, to beat them. You literally spent hundreds to thousands of hours playing these things. I'm not even joking. So, like, if you don't have the time to play RPGs, then don't play RPGs, you know. But don't cheese the RPGs neither. You know, like, this is why I don't like Skyrim. It's so cheesy. It's so arcadey. It's stupid. It's like, here, we'll just hold your hand, walk you through the game, and all you got to do is just grind to level up your character so that you can get there in time, right? And then here's where you go for your next quest, and here's where you go for your next quest, and it shows you where to go. Whatever happened to just walking around and enjoying the environment and exploring and finding all this shit out? This is why I talk about Phantasy Star, because you can't cheese it unless you cheat by the internet, right? That's why I don't like the internet, because it's easy to cheat. Don't cheat. Don't cheese yourself out of your own experiences. You paid a lot of money for your games. You should enjoy them.
You should never
Not
be in
sit
front.
here and go, oh, I want this easier because... Stop whining. You know, stop being a bitch and enjoy the game. You know, make it harder on yourself on purpose. Be a sadist. Be a masochist, you know. But with fun, of course, towards gaming. You know what I'm saying, though.
Low-key
that's
stupid
where I
guitar.
think, like,
Low-key.
you know, what we need to do. Because look at the bullshit going on with Cyberpunk,
Should have done
right? Look at the
Infused
bullshit.
first,
Now,
then him.
Another version of Skyrim. Do we really need that? I understand VR, that makes sense. I understand the Switch, that makes sense. But all this other stuff, do we need? No. Do we need a PS4 version? No. Do we need an Xbox One version? No. Do we need a Series XS version or PS5? No. VR, sure, okay, that makes sense. I can let that go. Switch, well, they don't have any, so yeah, that makes sense. But come on, man. 20 different versions by the time the Anniversary Edition comes out. That's dumb. That's just dumb. I'm not even joking. You go add it up yourself. I've done the math. 20 of them. 20 different versions of Skyrim have come out because the Switch is its own version. You know, VR is its own version. You think about it. We have 20 different versions of Skyrim. I'm not making it up. Go do the math. I'm not making it up, man. You're like, Panic. No, there's only like two. No, there's actually 20. Sit back and think about it. There's 20 different versions of Skyrim. That's how much Bethesda has been cash cowing Skyrim for the last 10 years. They show no respect to the gamer. They show no respect to people like you and me. None. So why do we continue to support this shit? Why do we continue to buy it?
Well, he's
That
dead.
desperate for another new version of Skyrim?
That shell shit
Basically,
is
all they're
hard.
doing is putting in the
I will say
creation
that. That
kits,
shell
right?
shit is hard.
So they're taking all the quests from the Creation Club, they're taking all the items from the Creation Club, and they're putting it in here. And they're just going to give it a visual upgrade. Excuse me, didn't the mod community already do that? You know? So, I'm very, very leery about that. I'm going to wait and see what it's like when it really does come out, because it didn't show any gameplay. But for them to brag about something like
No, my
fishing,
egg.
I'm not joking. That
Joking.
makes me really cringe, because it makes me go, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know, you guys clearly don't understand what it's like to be a gamer, right? We want real
I'm a
content.
gamer.
We don't care if we can fish, we can just foosh bourgeois, you know, all over the fucking place and blow the fish to the top of the water. You know, and only at selected locations, right? We got these fishing locations with fishing animations. Ooh, aren't you getting a boner over that? You know, for the ladies out there, isn't your pussy all wet just like thinking about that? Oh my god, this is so making me horny, right? No, it's fucking lame shit. That's my whole point. When
So the moral
the
story is
very
that
first
gamers will
point
buy
to
almost
this is
anything,
fishing,
usually multiple
I
times.
start to
Yeah,
go,
basically.
yeah, about that, right? And go watch QuickCon. You'll see what I mean. Like it's really stupid, man. It's really really stupid what they did here. You know, and they talk about it for
I
like
don't
a
have
half
blight
hour. You know,
cards.
they're talking about the intro to the game and that. And,
Well, he's
oh
fucking
yeah, well we
useless.
had problems with the card physics, and we just included it into the intro
Right.
because we couldn't make it work in the game. You know, Bethesda.
I am gonna go because I have a thing to do. Yes. Dashboard. Let's see if anyone's live. Probably not. It's way too early for this shit. Yeah, no one's live. Well, Jerma's live, but I'm not fucking raiding Jerma. Right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Resident Evil 5. And yeah. Hope you have a great day, night, whatever the fuck you are. And see you later.